Would like to do a recap of last session to earn a bit of inspiration?
We met each other. There were some little memories in the background. Um, and then we met a friend, Rail Tyndall, with a mysterious satchel. Uh, he went off on his own, was attacked by goblins. We defeated them, and we have returned with Rail and his mysterious satchel with a bunch of papers.
We discovered his horps.
Yep.
So important.
Sorry, I yeah,
You cannot forget a horps. A
mustn't skip
horps, of
over the
course.
horps.
Also, we really ran from the goblins. We didn't
Well,
feed them per
yeah,
se.
we
They're
killed
still
a
there.
couple.
We got the fuck out of there before they killed any of us, and we did kill a non-insignificant amount
Yeah,
of
we
them.
killed
Yeah,
like
yeah,
5
yeah,
of
yeah.
We
I
them.
killed
just
some
meant
big guys.
they're still there. That is a
Killed two of
concern.
their
was only
leaders.
it
We
was
killed like
2. I thought it was
Matolo
1.
or whatever the fuck his name was.
And
Maputo.
Yeah,
Elmo.
Maputo.
Maputo.
Oh,
Maputo.
And Elmo. We got
And
Elmo.
Elmo. Yeah,
Elmo.
yeah, we
yeah.
did. I mean, you killed enough of them that they were not chasing you. They
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
like, we scared them off. We'll accept the loss. You know. Well, I forget the name of it, but it's the thing in war where like nobody loses, but nobody's winning in that battle. Like
Like a
Pyrrhic
Pyrrhic victory.
Eric.
Pyrrhic victory. Yeah,
Yyyrhc.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Doug gained some inspiration for yourself, sir. Um,
Boy.
Boy.
on your sheets, just as a note, these sheets have like blank like resource trackers on them. You'll have a baseline of 3, but if you click the cogwheel that says sheet at the top of your sheet, at the
Mhm.
bottom it says resource count. It should say 3, but I've just set the max to 6 because I don't know how much more people would want from that. But like if you in particular want like, hey, I want a lot of resources on my sheet, just let me know, and the number can be I think up to like 20. So it's 3 for now, but if you need more, just let me know.
So do I set it to 6? Because mine said 3.
You can set it whatever number you want, right? And like when you change it, you'll see your sheet will have like a lot more like blank resource things pop up on it. So that's just up to you whether you like the layout of seeing some information there to remind you, like, oh, I have these things that I want to keep track of. Like, some people want to see like their channel divinities, front of their page, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's for you all.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that's just for you guys. Cool, cool. Okay. As our scene begins, we pick up where we had left off. The You all have hopped aboard. Everyone traveling with the caravan has either hopped up on one of the carts or is sitting on the edging of the cart, piling in as best they can. And the horses are struggling and doing their best to move as fast as they can, but they obviously are carrying a lot of weight already with the goods, so they won't be able to hold this pace for long. But you are putting distance between yourselves and where this goblin attack had occurred. Rael has essentially it's explained like, I will answer your questions, but I just want to rest for a moment. And he's many of you have been healed. Some of you still have injuries. Rael has been healed. He is clutching some of the papers, hold like hands still on his stomach where his wound was, and just like laying back against some of the dry goods in this particular cart, which I believe is Aaron's cart, and has his eyes closed, head kind of knocking to the left and right with the movement of the horses, and is just like trying to regain his strength for a moment. As you all sit and wait for him to recover enough, the caravan moves forward along the road. It is at this point approximately like almost midday at this point, so kind of a busy morning so far. Um, as you all are waiting, Merv, you are sitting on some of the crates nearby, just kind of watching the landscape go by. And as you're sitting and waiting, your mind drifts to another time within the last several days that you were also sitting and waiting to know what the future holds. And as our view kind of stays on Merv, seeing him sitting there, the background of the caravan, its travelers, and the wilds beyond fades and soon is replaced with the dark woods of a opulent sort of an opulent waiting room where Merv is sitting on one of the several chairs designed for small folk in here, in addition to the 20 odd chairs of for varying size for different races. The room itself is fairly large. It is empty aside from you, and in the far side, there is there is someone at a desk that has just stacks of papers stacked up all across the desk so high that it actually, like, from where you're sitting, you can't even see the person, as how much paperwork they have sitting there. And you've been sitting in this waiting room for about 2.5 hours at this point. Um, and a few people have come and gone, but it's mostly just been you. And those people that have come and gone have not been others sitting down, have been like other coworkers coming in to hand off paperwork and that sort of thing. What's Merv's like kind of vibe at this moment?
Uh, I think, given that Merv is deeply out of his element, although it has been like 2.5 hours, he is just sitting very patiently, hands in his pockets, like not moving, trying not to touch much of anything here, just waiting. He doesn't know if this is normal, if this is just how city folk work, but a lot's riding on it, so don't want to fuck it up.
As as you kind of twiddle your fingers a bit, pick some of the crud occasionally you find under a fingernail or two. Um, you hear a kind of a scratchy voice shout out from behind the papers at the end of the room. Next!
Is that? I reckon that's me then.
You see like not someone's face pop behind some of them, but like someone is standing. You hear like the shifting of a chair, and you just see like two like cat ears just above some of the paperwork, as if the papers are stacked so high that even standing they can't see over it, and the voice just repeats, "Next."
All right, I'm coming. I'm coming. Gets down from the chair, sort of like straightens up his shirt, like kind of self-consciously pats out some of the wrinkles, and starts walking forward.
Great. As you approach, there is a chair in front of this desk, but it's not designed for small folk. It is a kind of normal sized humanoid chair.
Yeah, Merv will climb up into it.
Okay. You hop up in, and sitting across the desk from you, hidden by these large stacks of papers, you see a female tabaxi with grayish fur, a couple like darker gray black patches here and there. She has like glasses pulled down to the edge of her little nose, with like little straps that curl back and hang around her necks, so they can, like, she can take them off and keep them with her. You can tell based on kind of her coloring and her general look, she's a older tabaxi. And She grabs a pen and begins like lightly kind of tapping it on some of the papers nearby, and she looks at you and kind of raises an eyebrow. My name is Mortiche. How can I provide you with excellent service today?
Well, it's good to make your acquaintance. My name is Merv Marskin. I'm here for one of them merchant licenses.
You wish to apply for membership of the guild?
Yeah. I got some wares I'm thinking about selling. I even got some things I think maybe the Arcanium would be interested in. I don't know if that's a different department or
Arcanium
right.
applications are handled at the
Okay,
Arcanium. We do
yeah.
have.
I figured maybe that was true. Sorry, I'm just excited about it. You go ahead. Sorry.
Hmm. What sort of wares would you be selling?
Well, consider them medical marvels is what we've kind of been working with. Not strictly medical, but I happen to be able to do some medical marvels as well. Nature-based holistic remedies is what my brother called them.
So you're a doctor. You're opening up a
No,
doctor's office.
I'm not a doctor. No.
Well, what exactly is it that you'll be doing? You said healing. Are you a
Well, no, I
holy
won't.
person?
No, it's not really like healing per se. It's the production of a thing what can probably heal someone if applied correctly.
Hmm. So, selling goods and services.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Will this be wholesale or retail?
I don't know what the difference is. Uh
Well, will you be selling directly to clients or will
oh,
you be
that yeah.
selling to other businesses?
Yeah, I'd like to be selling directly to clients if I could.
Okay. See, you're kind of shuffle some papers around, lift some things, and then grabs out a couple papers and sets them and slides them over the desk to you and lays down a pen and says, all right, well, I'll need you to fill out these forms in triplicate. I'll need to see your letters of recommendation. And
Uh
how would you like to pay your application fee, gold or platinum?
uh, okay. Hold on. I'll go in order. Um Triplicate, you mean like 3, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I don't rightly have letters of recommendation. Is there a different department I go to sit in line there and maybe and get those?
Well, I mean, you need letters of recommendation from current members to gain membership and apply to the Alliance. Unless, of course, you have a sponsor.
No, I don't. Okay, is that how much gold or platinum? How much you thinking? Is there like, can you pay and maybe like, how much is one of them letters of recommendation worth money wise?
Oh, you don't buy those, honey. You have
Oh,
to. Someone vouches for your character.
right.
The application fee for retail is 100 gold or 10 platinum.
Is there okay. Is there like a maybe like a journeyman sort of program you could sign up for where like I work under like a different merchant for a bit and then he trains me in the finer parts of the trade and then I get my license, sort of that way.
Well, is this your first time here?
I mean, I'm flattered that you didn't think that was obvious, but yeah, it is my first time here.
Okay. But when you apply, you do essentially enter into a sort of apprenticeship. If you're unsure exactly how to maintain and run your business, then you could work under another until you gain enough experience and they could sponsor you, perhaps. However, if you have already established yourself in a community as a person of repute in business, that you would simply need letters of recommendation and the application fee to join the guild itself.
Okay, now I appreciate maybe that you know what, those rules make sense for such a big city like this. You got a whole lot of people, moving in and out of here. What about if I wanted to go out and sell to like a smaller town out there?
Well, you could
Is there
be an
like a
independent trader if you wish, but
right? Is
the
there like a
Alliance
separate
also. I'm sorry.
license?
Well, independent traders, of course, are not members of the Alliance,
Oh,
so you won't be provided any networking connections or any such support. We also, of course, have the largest network of warehouses and fellow merchants, but on your own, you'd be limited in what you could do.
right. So you're saying that in order to get into your guild, there you need to have friends in your guild, and also you got to have lots of money up front.
Well, we don't want just anyone joining the Alliance. We have a
Right.
certain quality of membership, and people expect a level of service from our members.
Right. Okay. I think I see the shape of how this is working here, and I think maybe it isn't gonna work between our organizations. Maybe.
Oh, well, if you ever change your mind, you're welcome to come back and apply. Otherwise, you could try your luck with maybe one of the free trade caravans.
How much do you get paid a day to do this right here?
Next!
Yeah, Merv just slowly hops down, fucking like glaring at the floor and just muttering under his breath as he walks out.
You walk out of the Merchants Alliance HQ, kind of a Byzantine assembly of bureaucracy in the levels that you were in, and step out into the city of Bastion, which is loud and smells of all sorts of different things that are not home. And as you make your way throughout the city, kind of thinking about what you might do. You find that in your mind's wandering, you look up and you find yourself in front of a series of caravans with a now familiar logo on the side of them saying the Bronze Voyage. And you hear a strange voice of a dragon born man asking you, do you know where this caravan is heading? And as that memory fades away, we see Merv just sitting back on the crates of the caravan, the wild fading back in to our view as your mind, recalls these events that led you to here.
Yeah, I think like he was still before the memory began, but as the memory is ending, like his hands are like rummaging over his tools and cleaning everything off. Like he like absentmindedly sniffs the inside of one of the bottles and then like pours something into it and shakes it, still with the kind of like far off look in his eyes.
About that time, Rael begins to stir and sit up and kind of stretches back a little bit, wince in pain, looks at you, Mervyn, says, stomach muscles still hurt, but I feel a lot better.
I mean, if you need some of my paste in there, just let me know.
I'm not sure what that means.
I mean, if you have any like open flesh parts still, uh
Oh God, do I?
I don't I don't know. You want me to look at it? I don't know
He
much
kind of like
about.
he lifts his the bit of his tunic and armor and shows you his stomach, where you can see like there's the wound is still like there's a red line where his skin is knit, but there was obviously a large wound to him.
Yeah, I'm not trained in medicine. Murph just like leans forward and takes a big sniff. Well, it doesn't smell like you're probably gonna die, so that
I
you could
put
probably
my
take
hand on
comfort.
Merv's head and pull his dirty beard away from the wound.
I'm not. Look. I'm not going all the way in there. I'm just giving it a snooze from back here. If it was real smelly from back here, he'd probably be fucked. I think.
Oh God, does it smell?
I don't think it smells.
You're gonna be fine.
You're
I think it's
probably fine.
best not to listen to the little one.
I think that's kind of rude, but you're entitled to your own opinion, I suppose.
Rael kind of shifts his weight and sits up a little bit more. Um, all right. I I don't know how to thank you. Thank you for saving my life.
Well, you are quite welcome, and I find coin works quite well, actually.
Also, I want to know what's in those papers.
Um, that's right. I did say I would
Yeah,
explain things.
I mean, you
Um,
needed some sleeping at night. It's quite all right.
well, an explanation I certainly can help with, but I'm afraid coin. I actually don't have much coin on me, but oh, you are too true that reward of some kind is in order. I don't know how many of you are heading to Maras, but that's where I'll be meeting my master, and I'm sure that he'd be happy to reward you. Should you all make your way up there.
Oh, that is wonderful news. I know I myself am headed there. I believe Melvin is headed to peddle his
Name's
fine
Murph.
salves and perfumes. Yes.
You're getting closer though. I appreciate it.
Well, of course, someone with the poultices as highly refined as you pays to commit that name to memory so that I can say I knew you when.
Merv like is clearly smiling in spite of himself and just shaking his head slightly, so like below the brim of his hat, so Cal can't see.
Well, it seems that the reward will have to wait, but if you are feeling up to it, perhaps now would be an excellent time to begin with the explanation.
Sure, sure. He kind of this whole time he's been like gripping a bunch of the papers in his hand and kind of spreads them out, and there's just like blood stains and dirt on them. And as he lays them out, and they're all crumpled and messed up, as he lays them out and looks them over, he just has this very like defeated look on his face and goes, "This is my thesis. Now it's all ruined. Have to start all over."
Oh,
Um,
I'm sure it's quite fine. There's no reason to refer to it as feces. I'm sure your work is of excellent quality.
um, in addition, a retcon that a retcon I'm gonna make. I started to say it during the goblin fight, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep it in there. Was in addition to the papers, when the bag was being shook about, a small little leather-bound journal also had fallen, and Rael sets that journal next to the papers as well. Um, uh, um, uh, he looks up at all of you and goes, "What? Well, all right. How much do any of you know about the ancients?" The ones who came before.
Personally, very little.
Do
Awkward
any of us know
silence.
anything?
Um, I would actually say the only things that anyone like no one would know anything specifically. But like the general thing of like there are the known information, world lore. There are very old structures and ruins that exist all throughout Adari. Some have been overtaken and reclaimed by the wilds and are lost. Others, you can, pass by it, over the top of a hill, and then there is one ahead of you. Some of them are very odd and strange, objects that appear to just levitate a few feet off the ground. Um, Others are they're like older. There are ruins built on top of them, usually temples and that sort of thing. But like the general idea is just like they were structures from that somebody built. They just are all referred to as the ancients, and they are from the Age of Darkness. So like people have been the Arcanium specifically has been like studying them since its inception, and has never really found anything. So like people kind of just don't give a shit about them anymore because they never do anything, you know? Ryo looks at you, Dominic, and says, "Well, exactly. Most people don't know anything about them. I mean, in general, we really don't know much about them. But, um, just because we don't know that much doesn't mean we don't know anything or can't infer things. Um, I mean, the main problem for so long, right, has been like we just don't have the context to understand who or what they were and where they went. I actually, my focus has been the idea of language. Um, in all these ancient sites, we never find writing of any kind. None. Well, none isn't exactly right. Um, Sometimes there are ruins built on top of these structures or nearby, usually temples built by progenitor races to our current forms as we know them. And sometimes there's proto languages there. Most seem to kind of revere the locations as like places of power or maybe remnants of the time of creation. You know, some of the markings, though, are basically just graffiti. Um, but these are all proto languages that we understand, early instances of Elven or Dwarvish, but nothing that seems to indicate before. And, well, my theory, and there are a lot of crazy theories about the ancients, but my theory is that I don't think that they were like I don't think they dabbled in oral tradition. I think that maybe they were telepathic in nature. A whole society that could communicate and express complex ideas without the need for something as rudimentary as words, right? Your language at the speed of thought. I mean, those are my ideas anyway. And he kind of picks up his papers and again is very sad and look. I had a lot of good I got a lot of good prose in here.
Well, it can't all be useless. I'm sure there's plenty of time now even to begin rewriting it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm doing for the Arcanium. I work with Master Mobarad, and he studies the ancients themselves. Longer than I have, longer than most people at the Arcanium. Actually, it's kind of why I chose to apprentice under him. I mean, honestly, if you had any questions about him, I mean, he's probably the one to go to for sure. I was supposed to deliver this journal to him. It's his notes. He was in a rush to get up to Maras. There was some kind of accident or something that happened about a week ago or so. And, he
Wait,
needed to get out there right away. And he left this behind. And I still had to do a couple errands for him around town. But,
uh,
you know,
hold on. What kind of accident? What happened? Where? What?
oh, just something. There's a small set of ruins outside of Maras. The Arcanium used to keep an outpost there for research, but it was deemed, a waste of money. So they decommissioned it. And from what I understand, people just kind of dig around every now and then. But, again, like nothing's ever really been found. But I mean, apparently someone found something. I mean, that's what. I mean, that's what Master Moborad does. He travels around and looks into strange phenomenon around Adari to see if it's actually related to the ancients or not. I mean, if it was right, if it was like actual evidence of them of some kind, it'd be like the greatest discovery of all time. But it's usually, and he holds up the journal. It's usually nothing, you know drunken people or bad memories, that sort of thing.
So, when you get there, when you get to Maras, unlikely, but you're hoping that maybe there will be something in these ruins that might at least help you with this, and kind of tap some of the papers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, Master Morad was very excited to leave. I mean, I can't believe he actually left his journal. I mean, he has 10 years of entries in this thing, almost. You know. So if he found something, um, I mean, maybe it could prove one of my theories, and I mean, that'd be. I could actually like maybe gain a professorship or tenure at the Arcanium. A research grant or something.
You ever let you read that?
I perused from like once or a few. I've looked a few times when he was out.
So he didn't let you read it. Gotcha.
Not, yeah, not exactly. It's actually like it's actually really interesting. I mean, he's been all over Adari. He kind of like uh has a kind of gleam in his eye and says, "You want to take a look?"
He pulls like a little curious face and holds out his hand.
Like Rael kind of looks about everyone who's listening. I don't. If any of you tell him, and then hands it to you.
Yeah, I'll start skimming. I'm not an incredibly learned man, but I'm pretty intelligent. I'm trained in Arcana.
Cool.
Hey, let me know if you see anything about the bog in there.
The
Lot,
bog.
yeah, lots of stories about what goes on in the bog.
As you kind of slowly begin flipping through some of the pages, uh, it's written in most of the entries are written in common, and the book is also like 4/5 filled. Like this thing is like been he's been writing in this for a long time. The entries do date back a little bit more than 10 years, and the journal itself reads like a travel log. It details different investigations into abnormal occurrences at various locations throughout Adari. Um, and each investigation always ends with the same thing, a perfectly normal, mundane explanation of the events. As Rael said, poor memory, bad eyesight, drunkenness, minor cantrip usage, and occasional fraud or charlatans. Not a single entry seems to indicate that anything of significance has ever been found. You do notice that there are occasional entries sprinkled in, like whenever there was like a block of empty space, there are other entries in there. But they are not written in common. They are written in a different language that you don't recognize.
Interesting.
And they
Oh,
are spread throughout the journal within starting about like 6 years in and continuing.
um, can I identify like the characters at least? What alphabet this is from?
Roll me just like a baseline intelligence check.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Just because it's like someone else's handwriting and it
Mm-hmm.
could be difficult to discern in general. You recognize the runes. These are infernal letters.
Okay.
Mm.
Um, Rael, do you read this? He'll put a big old finger next to some of the print.
No, I've never figured out what that was. I thought about maybe asking someone to translate, but I'd have to like take the journal. It was actually kind of a big thing that I got to like bring it to them in general. But no, I don't. I actually have no idea what they say.
I do recognize it. It's something that got identified to me during time in a temple, but I don't read it. It's one of the languages of the lower planes,
Which are
and
lower planes?
he just sort of turns the book out so that everyone else can look at the handwriting.
Dominic will hold out his hand, if you don't mind.
Not mine. And he hands it to you.
I do speak Infernal.
Yay!
And for anyone
Uh,
who already considered that, that's racist.
Oh, I mean, yes.
don't assume my language.
Thank you.
I'm born a tiefling. Doesn't mean I was raised by tieflings. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, Tasha's custom origin.
Okay, hang on just a sec. Okay. Oh, let me click off that. Okay. You can. This is what you see. It's a summary of the entries themselves.
I wish I read that. That looks nice.
Who do you know the author? Anything about them? The person who wrote these in the first place?
You mean Master Moberon?
Yeah.
Um. Well, I've
It's
been studying under him for almost 2 years now.
oh, it's his writing. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. He's following an unnamed woman, but he never seems to catch up to her.
Huh.
Anyways, that's pretty much all we got from it. Sorry, I can't be more help.
He holds his hand out for the journal
Hands it back.
and like looks at some of the like flips the pages looking at some of those entries, though he doesn't like he's just kind of scrutinizing it a bit and looks up at you, Dominic. Are you sure he's never mentioned anything about this?
I mean, if you give me time, I can translate it word for word, but that's the general gist.
Also, if he's been spending a lot of time traveling before he met you, the fellow's gonna have his own secrets.
Mm,
Member of the Arcanium, yeah.
there are many reasons he may not want to tell you about this woman.
No, I trust him. If this was something that he needed me to know, then he would tell me about it.
Mm, I suppose that means you're not on a need to know. No offense.
The air kind of like those words kind of hang in the air for a few moments, right?
Yeah, that checks out.
uh, and Ryle kind of like takes the papers and the journal and just kind of collects them, and he's like looking around for his like bags and equipment and everything, and then looks up and goes, oh, I forgot about my horse and I just remembered it. That was all my equipment, like everything. He leans and shouts up to the driver on the cart and says, hey, excuse me." And you see Aaron looks back. Yes. Hey, when's how close are we to the next town? Well, if everything goes well, we'll probably make it to Oakenstall by a day and a half. Which reminds me, and she shouts loudly so the caravan can hear. All right, I think we've given these horses enough of a go. I can tell they're starting to slow down and get very tired, and we don't want to push them or, at worst, have them pull a leg. So, chop chop, everyone. It's time to put your legs to work. Um, Ryle begins to kind of gather his things, and several of the other people who've been traveling also begin stepping and hopping off of the cart as it slows down to allow people to, get off safely. Um, and as he steps down, he goes, well, "Okay, I can get equipment in Oakenstall. That's fine. That's fine." Um, well, look, I'm sorry I don't have like a proper reward or anything, but I swear, Master Murad, he's a good man, and he's been a good teacher to me. I'm sure he'd want to meet you at the very least, and he'll I'm sure he'll have some reward or something. I'll let him know what you did for me.
In the meantime, when we have opportunity, I'm more than happy to help you do any transcription. Not that I have any idea how any of it goes, but if you need someone to just copy down new notes for you.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great, actually. Maybe tonight at camp.
I could probably get the blood out of some of them papers if
That'd be like really helpful.
right as long as they're goodly ways away from the word parts.
Oh, whatever you might be doing, don't do anything that's going to compromise any ink.
Right, yeah. No, look, I know. That's why I said I could get the blood out, just not around the word parts.
As as you all hop off the carts and begin walking, grabbing all your equipment and bags, anything you had tossed up to go. Um, as everyone begins walking once more with the caravan, um, thoughts drifting over what Rael had said and what these ideas may mean for some of you. Um, uh, our view focuses in on Dominic for a few moments. And as you're walking alongside the caravan, mind on what's ahead, um, we fade into a memory of yours. Um, you are with you are with a friend of yours, and the two of you are back home, and you are sharing drinks at the end of a small kind of rickety dock overlooking Lake Ventnock, which is the large lake near Karakara that Karakara kind of sits by and surrounds. And the two of you are like just outside the city proper, on not on the large docks that hold a lot of the boats that go out fishing and taking tourists out for day trips and that kind of thing. You're on some of the more local ones, and one kind of off to the side of the beaten path. The two of you are sharing drinks at the end of this dock, and your elven friend looks at you and she says, "I just can't believe he's gone." You know, it feels like just yesterday we were swimming on the North Shores diving for shells.
I understand, but that'll come for us and all in due time. I don't know. I guess I process things differently. I just see everyone uh, on a time clock, or on a clock rather. Um, his number came up. One day yours will. One day mine will. Mine probably sooner than yours.
Yeah, I guess things aren't quite so dangerous at the tavern.
Hmm. Sorry, is that dark? I've been told I'm too dark.
It's a little dark. It's a little dark. I invited you out here to commiserate, but I didn't think it would be like.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I miss him too.
Hey, do you remember that time that Dunnan fell asleep on that little raft we strapped together, and he got so sunburnt that summer he looked like a lobster for like 2 weeks straight?
I remember me falling from that makeshift craft quite frequently. Yes.
We did not do a very good job putting that together.
We still have not learned how to tie two things together, it seems.
It's not fully
You know,
as
I
bad as.
I miss the days when we could just swim all day and just dance all night.
Yeah. Um, so I take it you're not going?
No, no, the festival's coming up. I mean, it's only 10 days away, but I mean, we have a lot of work to do. Um, the new the early arrivers are starting to put their tents up. Camp City is going to be huge this year. There's too much work to do.
I understand. I'm taking this, and he holds out a piece of paper. It's from the first book that he gave me. He'd be pissed that I tore it out, but uh it's something that has to go with him. Is there anything you want to give me that I can give to him before we put him to rest?
She reaches up and pulls off this necklace. It's like a simple leather thong with a little like carved bone at the end of it, um, and it's like carved in the shape of a fish. And she kind of looks at it for a moment and hands it to you. He gave me that before he left.
Did he say why?
Just a gift, I think.
He was too kind. In general, not just to you.
You know, I always said that I was gonna save up a little money, take some time off, finally get out of this place. The
Well,
years just went by and I never did.
well, you may want to plan something in the future. Matter of fact, if you ever want to, I'll go. Lord knows there's nothing tying me down here.
The only way that I'm getting out of Karakara is if I make a lot more money, and I'm not gonna make that money serving drinks at the Red Meadery.
No, you never know. This place will pick up. It always does in the summer months.
Mm. Look, I wasn't gonna bring this up, um, but can I ask you a favor?
Of course.
She reaches down to a bag that she had carried with her here, and turns and sets it between the two of you at the edge of the dock. I need something delivered to Maras, and I figured since you were already going, and I can't get out of here, and my normal runner isn't available, um, maybe you could do it.
I mean, of course. It's barely even a favor. Is this one of those I can't ask any questions?
Well, um,
Or I shouldn't?
probably best if you don't.
Easy enough.
It's a new client, and we offer a premium service for premium discretion.
Who's it going to?
There's a merchant in Maras. He runs a place called the Burlap Emporium, some kind of general store or something.
Hmm.
Oh, this one was weird though. The client wanted a passphrase before it. They paid extra. Um, fuck, it was strange. The brighter the torch, the deeper the shadow. And then they're supposed to say, "In the shadows we are free."
This sounds very sketch.
Look,
But for you, anything.
oh, thank God.
Can you repeat the passphrase? The second one? The response?
Yes. Your phrase is brighter the torch, deeper the shadow. And the response phrase is in the shadows we are free. To
Are
be
you
honest,
sure?
Dom, this isn't even the weirdest thing clients have asked for.
All right, you're sure this is safe for you?
Uh, I- how else am I supposed to get enough money to get out of here?
I mean, they're not everything's worth the amount that they're willing to give you.
I never had any problems before.
Okay, I trust you.
Mm.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Uh, After he cheers, before he drinks, he pours a little out first.
She sees you do that and also pours a bit out. And the two of you share a moment and a smile together and finish your drinks. And as the moment begins to fade, we see Dominic walking beside the caravan, shifting a familiar looking satchel on his back. It's a few hours before camp will be made for the evening. Is there anything anyone wants to do or accomplish before then?
Just helping Rael.
Getting blood out. A little bit of vinegar.
If you wanted me to translate, I'll be translating.
Um, yeah, he'll ask for some of the translations of a few of the entries there. um and he shows he is definitely appreciative of the help in like trying to clear out some of the staining on the paperwork. And he begins scrawling and transcribing, and every now and then is like talking to himself out loud as he's working out new ideas and revisions to his thesis here about the ancients and their possible communication methods. um Evening comes to everyone. Uh, the um, uh, the caravan does not provide rations and food for everyone. Only on certain occasion, like that very terrible storm that everyone helped out with. Their way of thanks was providing a meal, but it is expected that travelers maintain their own provisions as necessary. And if needed, you can purchase provisions from the caravan themselves. So, those of you that have rations that need to use them, please remove one of your rations for the day. Um, the caravan does have a supply of water if you do need water, though they do charge a copper for it. Otherwise, you could take time in the morning to like seek out, a river or like a stream nearby to gain water, or if there anybody can find like well water sources. Springs, that sort of thing. But an evening comes to a close. Everyone can have their long rest, and the morning comes once more. Um, uh, let's see. I'm just
This might
advancing.
be a dumb question. How do I use the ration?
You just remove one of the inventory.
Oh.
Definitely not a dumb question, because I looked to see if there was maybe a toggle or something too.
Well, it was like, it was literally, what is going on? Why does that weigh 20 pounds? What?
Rations are pretty heavy, surprisingly heavy,
Ah, there
actually.
it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you've got like your standard kit that usually comes with 10, each ration I think weighs either like 1 pound or 2 pounds, so
Yeah, it's
they
two
add up.
2 pounds. Yeah, so if you have 10 rations, that's 20 pounds altogether. Yeah.
Okay. I, okay. And then you said a long rest, correct?
Yeah, everybody gets a long rest. Have a long rest.
Chaka cow.
Oh shit. Oh, level 2 is at 300, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Which actually we'll just talk about how do we all want to handle our level up process. Do we want to do what we were doing in Max's game, where it's just kind of instantaneous level up when you hit it? All your stuff resets immediately, or do we want to have it like you'll need to complete a long rest in order to gain your new experiences?
Naturally, I'm a fan of my own system, but
Yeah, theirs works really well.
I'm here to follow the crowd. I still cannot say the name.
Which name?
Kelowin X Cleth Tinthialor.
Ooh, pretty good.
Props to you for figuring it out, but I could not. Even after hearing it.
Yeah, I haven't been practicing.
Adam, Ted, any input on our leveling?
I am good to go with the group wisdom on this one.
Yeah.
I am used to Max's system, but I can very easily swap to whatever.
Yeah. All right. Let's use the what we're using in Saltmarsh. It'll be instantaneous. No problem.
all right.
Now,
And,
I
and
want to.
I'm assuming then that still means though, like, particularly for our new friends reference, at a level up that means all of our natural resources, spell slots, health, all of our personal resources refuel, but any items we have that are contingent on full day or long rest or at dawn or whatever would be still under those rules, right?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had like a magic item that said like this ability resets on a long rest, that you would need the mechanical long rest to achieve it.
oh, okay. But for a spell that says long rest, the leveling up would fix that one.
Yeah, leveling up would do that. It's kind of like it's more like a video game style, right? Where just instantaneous, it'll happen.
Okay.
Which I I wanted to ask all of you to see, like what do you guys want to do? Because as long I want you guys to enjoy the process. I like both ways of doing it. I actually like needing the long rest, and I like having it happen at the same time. So for me, it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
Obviously, I'm flexible because sometimes I'll revoke your right to the long rest after you level up. So,
Cool. All right. Morning arrives. The evening passes by. No one is. Nothing happens in the night. And it is the 5th of chess. We are in. Actually, it is the 6th of chess.
Like I
No,
should know what that
third.
means.
No, 5th is correct. 5th is correct. And we're having a light to moderate rain today.
Oh.
So there's some light rainstorms pass by throughout the day. The morning's travel continues as you're all kind of walking along. Certainly not a terrible storm, not like our other day of travel. Um, uh, just before midday, you all see several riders on horseback, about 8 riders altogether. And as they approach closer, you can begin to make out more details of them. They are each of them has some amount of armor on them. Most of them being chainmail, one of which has kind of like a half plate armor on them. And they all have the kind of blue colored livery that represents them as Bastion Militia. And as they approach the caravan, they begin to slow, and the caravan in turn begins to slow as the person in the half plate raises their hand and shouts out for the caravan to slow and come to a halt. Um, excuse me. Um, uh, no need for alarm. Just doing some patrols in the area, and thought we'd see how everyone's travel has been. Have the roads been good to you? And you see Hubert out of the front answers and says, "The roads have been good. Good travel so far. A little rough going a few days ago with the storm, but other than that, travel's been well." And the man looks back and nods and goes, "Great, excellent. Just word to the wise. About a day or so's travel north of Oakenstall, the road gets a little bumpy. Some variations of potholes have appeared. It looks like Maras doesn't like taking care of its section of the old road, apparently."
You should tell them about the goblins. Tell them about the goblins.
Are you? Are you? Are you?
gentlemen, I'll speak up on her behalf.
Mm,
I'll also way too casually salute them, and say, matter of fact, day back we did have a band of goblins and hobgoblins who did take someone off the road. We managed to take them back, but they were not far off, and who knows if they may be keeping watch that corner.
hmm. Whereabouts was this?
I give them a measurement of approximate miles.
Mm-hmm. He nods and leans and says something to one of the men nearby him, and says, "All right, thank you. That is good information to know. We'll take a look and see if there's any further signs of them. Now, unfortunately, my men and I are going to have to waylay you for a moment here. There's been reports of banditry on some of the caravans nearby, and well, we just want to make sure everything is on the up and up, and that everyone here is safe and transporting exactly what you say you are. Now, I know this can be a hassle, but I appreciate your cooperation in advance to making sure this goes smoothly and quickly. We want to get back on the road as much as you do. Sir, if you wouldn't mind presenting your papers." And you see Aaron on your cart kind of grumbles on the cart you guys are nearby, kind of grumbles a bit, and reaches into a pack and grabs some papers and hops off and begins walking over to hand them to Hubert, to hand to the gentleman. And she says, "All my membership papers are right here. Everything is up to date, and we're transporting exactly what we say we are." And the militia member kind of looks through the paperwork, looks at them. "Mind if we take a look?" "Not at all." Soldiers hop off their horses and begin just inspecting the carts and the goods that are on the cart. They make no moves to damage anything, but they are like opening things that can be opened, just inspecting everything on the carts themselves. Um, they do scrutinize each of you. Is anyone doing anything while this is happening?
If anything, I'm helping.
Okay. One of the
There's no shot at avoiding scrutiny.
they're not patting you down, but like they're scrutinizing. Their eyes are like, they're looking at everyone, like they're looking at like, are you a bandit in disguise? You know what I mean?
Are you sweating?
No, why would I be sweating? That's ridiculous. Maybe you're sweating. I think you're sweating. You're the one who's sweating. I wouldn't be sweating.
Nice.
You see one of them looks at you and says, are you all right?
Yes,
You're looking a little bit, I don't know, does your kind get pale?
Whoa.
Wow.
You are lucky I am in a good mood. Nothing is wrong. Perhaps something's wrong with you. I find it interesting that you would think that something is wrong, and yet you clearly don't have a way to identify by looking at someone of my lineage. But no, I am just fine. Perhaps a little shaken from the goblin attack that occurred to my dear, dear friend. But we were able to rescue him, even though we couldn't do anything about the about the Horps.
You see he leans over. "Hey Gary, we got a Horp situation over here."
Oh my god.
This soldier and Gary begin questioning you about the Horps and what happened to it in the Goblin attack.
Oh.
They're now just like fully like asking you questions about the events that transpired.
Calhoun X is super into talking about the Horps because it's not talking about him. So he will go on and on and on for as long as they are interested about the Horps.
The soldiers make their way through the caravan. Dom, one of them sees you as they're by their cart and just like looks at you for a while, kind of staring at you, checking, like looking at, kind of assessing you, right? And
After a
then,
while, he'll start to glare back
yeah,
when it's been like a little too long.
yeah, they break eye contact and continue checking the caravan. This takes about like 15-20 minutes for them to like go through and feel satisfied. And they leave you, everyone back to their business. They go back to their horses. And the human in the half plate says, "All right, everything here seems to be in order. Again, I apologize for the delay, but we're just trying to do our part keeping these roads safe. Enjoy the prosperity." And you see them ride their horses past the caravan, and then they disappear further down the road.
I feel like we just got robbed.
I
Um,
feel like they were bandits in disguise.
they were the bandits the whole time.
Plot twist.
Perfect cover up.
You-
I don't hate the Bastion guards. I just like it better when they're not around.
A
um,
little twitchy when they're around.
As I said, I like it better when they're not.
Mm.
Erin hops back on her cart and puts her paperwork away and says, "You and me both. All right. I know that they're supposed to be keeping us safe, but I mean, they got no business stopping us. We're citizens. I pay taxes on. I'm an honest businesswoman."
Listen, there's a time and place for them. This just happens to be neither of them, but
Well, all right, let's get a move on. We're wasting daylight. Um, Travel continues for several hours. The afternoon passes, the rain showers begin to let up, and as evening approaches, you can see lights in the distance, maybe about another hour's travel away. The town of Oakenstall, as it were. The caravan pulls in. The last rays of suns of daylight are still in the sky, but quickly dimming. They pull their carts and horses in. There is a like a local farrier and horse stable that seems to recognize them as the owners of the caravan step off and begin discussing, getting their horses refreshed, taken care of, getting them rest. And you see Andre, one of the caravan owners, kind of addresses the crowd of travelers, including all of you, and says, "All right, everyone, we're going to have a stopover in Oakenstall for about 2 days or so as we give our horses a rest, take care of some business here in town, and as soon as everything is ready, we'll let everyone know day before we leave. For those of you that are staying on, make sure that you're at the inn or somewhere that we know where you're going to be, because at on the 8th of chess, at the very latest, we'll be leaving. Those of you leaving, it's been a pleasure, and anytime you're all welcome to the Bronze Voyage. Those of you in need of rest, there's a local inn here. They're pretty light on rooms sometimes, depending on what's happening, but drinks are pretty good. Oh, also, try the cabbage. It's unique in here. Some of the best slaw you've ever had.
Sean, I'm angry about that.
What? Slaw?
It's just like it's cabbage, and who likes coleslaw? I'm gonna start a fight. Sorry.
How dare you? How dare you? I love goals.
We have it as a side
Sorry.
since people order it, and I'm like, why?
Cool. You all are in a fairly small kind of village. Not like it's like almost a town, edge of village, right? Like there's a place for like stabling horses. There's an inn here. There appears to be like a general store of some sorts, and a lot of and then there's just like houses here. There's a well in the center of town, very like cozy local sort of thing. And what would you all like to do?
Is there like a public river?
There's not a public river like cutting by the village. There is a well in the center of town. If you wanted to like look for sources of water outside the town, you could.
I'm gonna go in a moment and do that. I want to wring out some of the clothes that I've been wearing and freshen them up.
Okay, very good. How do you want to do that somewhere here in town, or are you looking to do that, elsewhere?
Just walk around, ask if I can use the well where people go frequently to clean their clothes.
Oh, yeah, and there's like locals going about. The day's coming to an end, so there's like people finishing up their their chores for the day, getting ready for their evening. You see, there's little fires and flickers of light in different the houses around town here. One of the locals, you ask that question to, and they respond. It was like, well, I mean, you could use the well water. I mean, don't go, don't wash your clothes in the water or bathe in the well itself or anything. But I mean, it's you're welcome to use it. You could also get. I mean, if you get a room at the inn, I hear they have like a bathing area. You could use that.
Okay, thank you. I'll do that. I'll do that. So
Sure.
much easier.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna go to the inn and get a room.
Cool. Layla's heads that way. What are the rest of you doing?
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna follow Cal,
Well,
if only to if only to see what Cal gets up to.
right, let's see what this inn is about with its famous cabbage.
I'm willing to try that cabbage.
Yeah, sounds good enough.
All right. What about Rainier? What is Rainier doing?
Um, Probably going to like get cleaned up in like in like a bathhouse or something, but more or less just unwind, nothing specific.
Okay. There you kind of like look around this place. They ain't a bathhouse here.
Got it.
This is like farming village. The inn or cold stream is your best choice for that.
Inn is fine. If there was a public facility, that's great, but inn is more than fine.
All right. What about Amber?
Ember will, since she must have. I'm assuming that she went through this place on her way to Bastion in the first place.
You could have
So,
stopped here. It doesn't mean that you had to, but you could have.
yeah, whatever place I stayed in on the way out, I will head back there.
Okay. As you all approach the building that it is clearly the tavern, you see a sign hanging outside of it. It's called the Manticore's Tail, and it has like a little carving of a manticore on this little wooden sign that's kind of hanging outside the door. Mm, mm.
Oh, I was like, what just happened?
Okay, we are all down here. So you were all standing outside of the Manticore's Tail.
I'll go inside.
Okay.
Right behind him. Right
There's a
behind
there's
him.
a door in front of you that you can open.
Oh,
Oh
that's how that
shit! Look
works.
at that. I just had to.
Now,
Oh,
how do I grab my person? Oh, there we go. I don't want to deal with people.
What the? Did someone else just move me? Why is it getting red?
I clicked the I clicked the lighting thing when I forgot I didn't put lights in the
Oh,
tavern.
it's
So
Oh,
I'm making it daylight again.
oh, that's my dark vision.
weird.
Got it.
Wait, what? Mine's all black and gray. Ah, there it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what you were talking about. My bad.
No, you are good. I
I'm
forgot. I
very
was like, I didn't put. I remember I was building lights inside here, and I was like, this is just too much of a hassle. It's just gonna be bright. I'm just gonna have it bright in here.
the
I was like,
colors,
these lights are like, I gotta make them so big and so weird and all that kind of
the
How
colors
do
were
we
slowly coming back, and it felt like I was having a stroke.
stuff.
how do I interact with this lady behind the bar?
You tell me what you want to do. That's how it
Oh.
works.
Oh. I was very into this,
Right.
like, who do I pick?
Yeah. So you guys enter into the Manticore's Tail, and it's for a local pub. It's pretty busy. It's about halfway full. You see behind the counter is a gnomish woman. Um, and you can see like her height is such that like she's standing like at the height of all of you, and so they must have like some kind of platform system for her to like move and be at everyone's high eyesight. You see a man at the behind the bar here. He looks to be gathering together drinks and whatnots, kind of preparing things here. And you see occasionally he rushes over here, and you can hear like you can smell and hear the sounds of cooking and that sort of thing. There's a variety of people in here, a lot of humans, but um, there's some gnomes, some gnomes, some elves, um, um, even a dwarf, and then you can see there's people over here like throwing daggers. It's kind of like a dart game in the corner, and people just having dinner and drinks and that sort of thing. Some people are eating alone. Some people are with groups. You all enter the tavern and make your way up to the bar. The gnomish lady is cleaning a few glasses and sees you all. Oh, hello, hello. Welcome to the Manticore's Tale. My name's Gunloda. How can I help you?
I'm back again. I told you I'd be back.
Oh, hello. It's so good to see you again. What was your name again, dear?
Ember Prime.
Ember. Ember. That's right.
Prime.
I should have remembered that.
It's okay. You probably meet a lot of people all the time, and I was out in Bastion for however long. For
Well, what can I get for all of you?
A drink and some cabbage, please.
Oh, some of Oakenstall's famous cabbage. All right.
Right
Well,
about it.
we have a few dishes here, all of which do have cabbage in them. Let's see what we have on the menu this evening. All right. Okay. Looks like Leonard's serving up there's a burger with some nutmeg and leeks and cabbage. Comes with a mug of Perry. We have our famous blue cabbage soup and a glass of whiskey. And a bison sandwich with a side of rice and cabbage.
Nope, there it is. That one.
Okay. What sort of drink do you? We have some wine. We have some ale.
I'll take wine.
All right, very good. And she takes down your order, and like that'll be 7 silver.
Done.
All right. And how about you? And we're gonna move just like there's Dominic here. We're gonna move just down the line, Ember, Cal, and then Merv. Drinks, food.
I'll have the same thing that he's having. Not the wine though. I'll skip the wine and have beer, please.
Oh, all right. That'll be 7 silver.
Hmm.
I am going to play daggers.
Okay, sick.
With your burger.
Yep.
Yes, how much for the blue cabbage soup and the whiskey?
That'll be 4 silver altogether.
Wonderful. One order, please. And when Caller receives his whiskey, he will turn around and put his back up against the bar and rest both sort of elbows on it as he's waiting for his soup to arrive.
It's 10 silver and a gold, right?
10 silver makes a gold. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
If you pay with gold, they have change. They make change for you.
Alright.
What about Electrum?
Stop it.
Yes, they also will make change for Electro. They proudly take Cal, as you hand her gold for like there's like a moment where like her eyes kind of like shift a bit looking at you, like she's like she almost she like at the edge of recollection about something. And she's about to say something, and like Leonard calls her attention for a moment. She just takes her money, handles the business. and then checks to see what Merv is going to have.
What's your cheapest food item?
Well, cheapest I guess would be the bison sandwich with rice and cabbage. It's 4 silver. No drink comes with that one though.
Could I get a silver taken off for no cabbage?
I
Oh,
suppose so. Although you're really missing out.
Yeah. Well, my second request is what's your cheapest liquor for highest proof?
That'd probably be the Perry, which is a pear-based alcohol.
Or do you got any liquid you use to clean off the gunk off of any of your cooking implements back there?
Um,
What?
I'm not
Oh,
sure. What about an ale?
No, I'm not really interested in like drinking it, but I will buy. What do you said that Perry? Perry?
Mm-hmm.
You know the proof on that?
I mean, it'll get you fucked up.
Right. Okay. How much for
pardon me. How much for one of each? The ale, the whiskey, and the perry.
Oh, I'd say 3 silver for total.
Wonderful. Will that do, Melvin?
Yeah, I could probably make use of all those.
And I'll put 3 silver down.
All right. Takes the
Okay,
silver
now
then.
about that cleaning liquid, do you got any like how do you get like the residue off of like, you know, you got a cauldron or something?
She kind of like leans and is like, Leonard, there's a guy here asking about cleaning the stoves. And
Yeah, cleaning liquids.
you hear a voice go, I'm busy making food. Tell him to wait.
I can wait. That's fine.
It'll just be a few moments.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's you know, whenever you're able.
She just double checks. She asks Rainers for his order, and Lelis, I can't remember if you ordered yet or
I
not.
have not. I went and
Okay.
hit against the wall. Can I get the bison burger and no slaw, with 4 glasses of whiskey? Four, please.
Oh, okay. Call it 6 silver altogether.
Oh, okay.
Rainier kind of leans over to him and says, "You planning on taking that all yourself, or
Yes.
did you make friends already?" Oh,
No, I
all
have made
right.
no friends.
Well, it's gonna be a little bit harder if you keep it all to yourself.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm perfectly fine. I think. Oh,
Elwinix, are you killing someone right now with your
No,
mind bullets?
no, I'm having strange issues just entering numbers into my gold.
Weird.
Okay.
I was just on the screen. You just see dice roll.
Wow, wow, wow,
Cool. You pay her the silver. And what about you, dear? And she looks to her to you, Rainier.
Um, I'll also have the bison. I'll try the slaw, I guess. And I'll try that. What'd you call it, Perry?
Perry, yes, in season, only for a few months now.
Sure, why not?
All right, that'll be a 5 silver altogether.
I'll put a gold down and cover the change for whatever that little fella's not paying you.
She smiles and gives you a wink, and they prepare and get everyone's food ready. As that is occurring, Dom, you have moved over and approached these two people here, tossing daggers. You can see it's a dwarf and a dwarf and a gnomish woman, and the dwarf like hucks a dagger real hard, and it lands into the wood next to the target, the bull, not the bullseye itself, but the whole board, and
Yep.
curses in Dwarvish, and goes, "Ah, I've been drinking too much, I think."
Perhaps you want
Uh,
to add. Perhaps we want to add another person to make it interesting.
the two of them share a look, glance to each other. Hmm, that depends. What'd you have in mind?
We can make it a friendly game. 2 silver for the winner.
All right, I'm good for that.
Enough to buy a drink or two.
You see the gnomish woman looks you up and down, and you any good?
I'm all right.
And she like cracks her fingers a bit and twirls one of the daggers in her hand, and she goes, "Well, I'm real good."
Probably is gonna beat me. Why?
Oof, nails just shy of the bullseye itself.
Unfortunate.
All right, what is it? 2 gold a game or 2 gold a dagger? 2 silver a game or 2 silver a dagger?
Oh, 2 silver dagger. You want to make it real interesting?
Well, you wanted to make it interesting, right?
Hmm. We could do 2 silver a dagger.
All right, 3 daggers each.
Done. Let me convert some things.
All right. You see the dwarf goes, "Well, that's too rich for my blood. Tell you what, if you all want, I'll just officiate things." And he grabs a drink and just kind of leans against the bar, keeping an eye, making sure everyone's like, keeping their foot on the line and that sort of thing. Um, cool. Dom, go ahead. Roll a you can roll a dagger attack. You're skilled in, doing dagger stuff.
Oof. Ouch.
Very
17.
good. Okay, she gets. I'm actually gonna put myself on public roll. She rolled a 3.
Yes.
Um, so you definitely earned the high score on this one. She curses under her breath. Fuck. Fuck. All right. All
All
right.
right. Practice run. Practice run.
Practice. It's just practice. Yeah. 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 And you see her,
Oh,
square up and toss. Uh,
Oh.
Oof. Okay. You land solid in the board, and hers is like actually that was it 18 on the die roll? Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost bullseye. And hers lands just a few under your score as well. Okay, you are you watching to make sure his feet are he's on the line, right? He's not in front of it.
This is all on the up and up.
Right. All right, one more time.
Oh, come on, that was close. You're doing great. Ooh.
oh,
Oh.
Your dagger goes almost right next to your other one. Um, and hers again lands just shy of the score. And you can see her like foot kind of scuffs and kicks her heel on the wood. Fuck, fuck, fuck. You're doing something. You rigged it, you're cheating, you're doing something.
It's called skill, my love.
Fuck. She reaches into her pouch and then like slams 6 silver into your hand.
I will reach over and grab my 3 daggers. Were they mine or were these like borrowed for the game?
You could use your own if you want. If they're yours, yeah.
Okay, cool. How many daggers do I have actually?
I don't know.
Oh,
you.
just the one. Just
um.
the one. That's cool. Cool. So I'll keep it instead. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know. I'll say you almost had it, and then start giving her some pointers of which I, as a person, don't know because I don't throw daggers in real
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Yeah. But Dom knows.
Yeah.
She's a little like defensive at first, and then she's like, okay, and then like starts like practicing the stance and seems to really try to like actually learn a bit from what it is that you're saying to her. After a while, like she begins laughing and kind of joking and around with you. Um, um, Everyone's food and drinks begin coming out and being set onto the bar. Um, and Cal, as she sets your drink and food down, Gunloda here looks at you, and you can see that same look where she's like trying to place you, and then like a brightness appears in her eyes, and she goes, "Wait a minute." wait a wait a minute. Um, I'm sorry. What's your name?
I am Kalawunex.
That's insane. That's insane. Hey, that Leonard. What day is today? I think it's the 5th of chess. Holy shit. She kind of clears her throat, and you see her like step up onto the bar itself, and says, "Attention, everyone. I have an announcement to make. It seems that a long outstanding bet that I and I and Mr. Flowers over there have had for the past 10 years as just came to fruition with him as the victor. As I'm a gnome of my word, the next round of drinks is on the house." And you see everyone kind of look around and then cheer and raise their glasses, and they all kind of look towards. There's a human sitting at this table here who kind of just raises his glass a bit to everyone, makes eye contact with you, Cal, and gives you a wink. And Gunloda steps back down off the bar top and says, "This is the craziest fucking day. I can't believe it. I can't believe he was right."
Well, right about what? And I will have another whiskey. I understand it's on the house.
She looks at you and begins pouring the drink and says, um, "Mr. Flowers, Brian Flowers, he made a bet with me years ago that someone looking just like you would come into this bar on exactly the 5th of chess in the evening. I mean, he got it down almost to the time of day."
Oh, so, another fortune teller or mind reader. That is quite amazing. Two of us in the establishment at the same time. Who would have thunk it?
I mean, I don't think he's a fortune teller. I mean, he's a cabbage farmer, like most people around here.
Well, if he was able to make this prediction 10 years ago, certainly he has some ability to see into the future.
I guess you're right. He must have been doing something. It's just
Well,
crazy. And
let's have him come over, and I'll wave him over.
um uh um you wave him over, and he takes a sip of his drink and kind of shakes his head no and gives a little like finger like curl like me, and gestures
Oh.
to a seat at the table.
Well, apparently, he would like a more private setting to have our discussion. But I promise I will be back just as soon as I can and inform you about anything that I learn.
You gonna be okay, or you want?
Oh, well, you're more than welcome to join us. I've got to assume that he just wants little more private setting than here at the bar, where anyone could walk up. But clearly he sees I'm here with my friends. Either of you like to join me, please?
Yeah, I'll just be mixing stuff, so it should stay out of the way pretty well.
Right. Yeah, well, grab those extra drinks.
As you all gather like your food and drinks, and just a note, the when the food comes out, everything looks good and smells great, tastes
Mhm.
good. The slaw is fantastic. Um, but to those of you who have never been in Oakenstall, um, the cabbage is blue.
Oh,
And as you like
Conloda,
kind of like look
Conloda,
around, oh, sorry, go on.
before I leave, I must tell you, right? I didn't want to mention anything earlier, but I am a bit of a cabbage connoisseur. I've traveled
Oh, really?
extensively and had many, many different varieties of cabbage. And I must say, I've never had anything quite as exquisite as this blue cabbage soup. It is extraordinary. You must begin advertising it at once. I can assure you that you will have fellow foodies coming the world over to sample your blue cabbage soup. Mark my words.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Um, it's funny you mentioned that. I mean, honestly, before the blue cabbages showed up, I mean, Oakenstall was just a little village, farming like everyone else. Nobody stopped here. But 30 years ago, these cabbages just started growing, and I mean, they taste sweet and they grow very large. I mean, we're very blessed with this bounty. I mean, it's put Oakenstall on the map for sure.
Can I roll a nature check for like abnormally large blue plants?
Sure, yeah, sure. What exactly are you trying to, ascertain?
Like, oh, I keep throwing up bricks anyway. Like if I've ever heard of a plant getting big and blue,
I mean, there's all sorts of weird shit in the bog.
yeah, I'm trying to like if I got any touchstone for big blue.
Yeah, I mean, you got big purple,
There's lots of
small
big blue, yeah.
green, medium yellow, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, Murph like leans like a little like thing forward and pokes some of the cabbage. Goes, I mean, you might have gotten like bog cabbage up here, which is interesting. Did somebody like plant it up there or what?
I don't know. I was still pretty young, when it all happened, but um, just suddenly the way the story goes is about 30 years ago, the cabbages here just all turned blue, and they've been growing that way ever since.
They like turned like they weren't blue and then they were blue.
I know, so weird, right?
That's probably not normal.
Well, I mean, they're safe to eat and they taste better than normal cabbages. I mean, we can't even grow regular cabbage anymore here. It just all grows blue.
Right.
Well, enjoy. And she goes about making, her foodstuffs and
Oh, and
handling other people's drinks.
I do still want, cleaning when you get a chance. No rush, but
Leonard! Oh,
yeah,
okay, in a minute.
just like no rush, no rush.
Uh, Cal,
Well,
what do you do?
Mervis, Ender, would you care to join me?
You're
Oh,
getting so close. You're honing in on it, buddy. I'll pace along behind Cal.
Okay, excellent. Very cool. I also I don't know if it works this way for all of you because it does for me. If your token is selected, you actually should be able to hear tavern noise, like tavern
hmm.
ambiance. But if your token is not selected, I don't know if it'll play for you. That's how it works for me anyway. Um, Excellent. Okay. Cal approaches. Merv approaches. Does anyone else go with Cal here?
I'll
I
sit
think I'm gonna
here.
cheat out so I can like watch, but I'm sitting over here.
Okay. Cool. Laylis moves over to an empty seat over there. What's Ember doing?
Ember stays put and just continues nomming down on her food.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Hey Cal, I'll sit down here. You mind giving me a piece of that cabbage though? I'm gonna mess with it a bit.
Oh, yes, certainly. And I'll hand him the entire bowl of soup.
Right. I mean, okay, yeah. You enjoy. I'll just sit on the floor right here. You tap me on the head if I'm not paying attention.
um, you see the human there. Looks at you, Merv, and says, "Nonsense." Um, Derek, would you mind lending us a chair? And the human behind you guys turns. Flowers, of course. Drinks on you, right? And
Could I also get like a small stool and also a chair, so I could like work on the stool? I don't want to get, you know, I don't want to mussy up your table here.
You see the human behind you, just like he has the chair he's holding out, and looks around, and then there is actually a small chair nearby, kind of for small folk, and he
Hmm.
pulls that over for you.
Yeah, I sit in the big chair and start working in the small chair.
Okay. um, um, cool. This human that is called you over looks to you, Cal, and says, "Well, it's about time you finally showed up. I've been waiting for you for such a long time."
Yes, well, you have me at a disadvantage. Seems you not only know who I am, but knew the exact day of my arrival, and I don't even know your name.
Well, names are so trivial sometimes. All I can tell you is that you owe Berggren and his goons such a large amount of money. I can't even keep it together. Cal, it's me.
Oh, thank God. Oh, I was. You had me going there. It was very difficult.
I
Can you-
did.
oh,
I got you.
oh,
You always fall for my tricks,
oh,
Cal.
Wait, you all
oh.
friends?
Oh, yes. Minerva, yes, this is my friend Kina here. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, oh,
My
I thought,
name's Merv, by the way. He's working on it. He gets closer and then he sort of veers away sometimes. I think he's
Hmm.
gonna
yes,
get it though.
Kina, you must know Merv here.
Oh, you did it! There, he did it. You heard it.
Well, yeah,
You heard it.
right. I mean, you just said it, so I'm able to
Right,
repeat
right,
it.
right. Hell yeah! Good job, dude.
No problem, Melissa. You
Okay,
must
well,
know. You must know, Melissa. The perfumery that she is going to open in Bastion is going to be extraordinary. The goops and concoctions that this individual can make are really quite stunning. And all it's going to take is, well, a little bit more elbow grease. You know how the guilds can be there. But we'll get a shop open for him in no time.
yeah. Speaking of smells, just sort of ignore any kind of odors you're getting from over here while I fuck with this weird cabbage.
Merv was
Kino,
it?
what?
Right, Merv,
Merv. Kieran. You're
Kieran.
strange. You're a strange little fellow.
They were calling you flowers.
Oh, sort of a long story. Um, Cal,
Yes.
touch, touch my hand.
And I touch his hand.
Um, you've seen Kieran like disguise himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You touch his hand, and like you're not touching through an illusion. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're touching real, bona fide flesh.
Okay. What? Karen, what
It's
is going
real.
on?
It's real, Cal. My best thing I've ever done. You wouldn't believe it. Bona fide human, mortal in all of it.
Well, I mean, it's amazing, but why would you why would you do such a rash thing?
Well, Well, I was having afternoon tea with father, and I was regaling him about our adventures in Bastion yesterday. Our victory against the brigands of Bastion, all that. And, he was enjoying the tale. And
Of
when it
course he
was
was.
over, it got me thinking there was something I was meaning to ask you about. And, well, then I got to thinking of like how much of a hassle it is sometimes to come visit you. And well, I thought to myself, well, what if I was, already there when Cal was going to be there, right? I could two birds, one stone sort of thing.
Well, it's a lovely idea, and it's a wonderful surprise, and I'm very excited that you're here. It has brought a lift to my spirit. I still don't fully understand why the mortal uh, get-up is necessary.
Oh, well, this is the best part, Cal. I was just about to excuse myself from afternoon tea, but then sandwiches were being served, and I thought
Yes.
it'd just be rude. So I thought, well, I want to enjoy our sandwiches, but need to ask Cal something. So I split off a piece of my consciousness, and I sent it back in time about 30 years. And I found this little human baby that was going to be born, and I sort of tricked whatever soul was going to be in here, and then I took their place.
Okay, I stopped paying attention there in the middle until tricked human soul 30 years.
Yes, it's quite
Right.
easy. Humans are not very intelligent.
I
And
mean,
I was born Brian Flowers, and I actually
Brian.
had Brian, yes.
Okay.
Um, I had the most lovely childhood. Mary and Stephen were wonderful parents, very loving. Um, Honestly, Cal, it was like a bit of a vacation. These past 30 years have almost been interesting.
It sounds quite lovely and quite relaxing, actually, to have a little piece of your consciousness stashed away in a nice, quaint place like this. And with the blue cabbage. Wait, how long ago did you say you were born here?
Mm, well, this body is about 30 years old or so.
Really? Did you
Oh,
hear that?
right.
Mm.
Amazing.
It's funny, Cal. I made a bet with that little gnome over there.
Mm.
To tell her, that you were going to be here. But waiting for you, it's just. I've had so many memories in this place, Cal. I mean, look, at the end of the bar there, I had my first kiss. And then in this booth here in the corner, my first heartbreak. I was devastated.
Oh,
Wait, how'd you know he was gonna be here though?
Well, it's Cal. Of course he was going to be here. I
Uh,
mean, I didn't know that all of you would be here, but I knew he was.
Kieran is quite talented.
right. Yeah. Cal, you don't seem to be all that sort of perturbed about um
Hmm?
the
About
yeah,
Kieran here.
the tricking souls going back in time, making blue cabbages with some kind of
Well,
magic, I presume.
that's just Kieran. Oh, my apologies. I'm so sorry. I haven't. Kieran. No, well, I have. Kieran, I've introduced you, but Minerva, I haven't really introduced Kieran. This is Kieran. He is my best friend and
Okay, yeah.
compatriot and cohort, and we've had known each other for quite some time, and had well. I don't know that I can count all of the strange going-ons and endeavors and um, trouble that we found ourselves in. But it's been a delight. Always a pleasure.
Oh, Cal's wonderful company. He's my absolute most favorite mortal.
Okay, but you're not talking about like Brian though. You're talking about
Oh, well, do keep up. I mean, Brian is,
right.
in
I
fact, a portion of
yeah,
Kieran.
fair enough.
Right.
I think I'm wrapping my brain around the shape of it a bit. It's just
Um,
taking a sec.
but look, I've spent the last several years, just kind of working the family farm.
Yes.
Mary and Stephen passed away, unfortunately, several years ago.
Oh,
So
I'm
I've
terribly
just been
sorry.
farming cabbages, which is dreadful, honestly.
Hmm.
But I've been waiting for you, and it's about time you arrived. I've been meaning to ask you a question. What was it I wanted to ask you? Oh, do you have that piece of paper?
Kalawunax will start like checking his pockets and checking his satchel and everything. And I believe, if I remember the flashback correctly, I believe Kieran actually made off with it to go talk with his parents about what it was, or to try and figure out what it was.
Wait, I
But
have it.
yes, I believe you do. I mean, well, let me play it back. You couldn't find your pants. It turns out you couldn't find your pants because I was wearing your pants.
You were
In the
wearing my
process of
pants.
returning the pants to you, I found the paper in the pocket. I took it out. It made absolutely no sense whatsoever. I showed it to you. It made very little sense to you, but you had a glimmer in your eye that indicated you might know what it... And yes, you took it with you. And then, of course, we, well, ran into a bit of trouble, and I hitched on with the Bronze Voyage.
Hmm. Oh, well, I suppose it's in my pocket right now, then. You know, Kieran looks to you, Merv, says, you know, time is a very strange thing. This
Right.
evening, in a few hours, when this Brian's heart gives out and he leaves for this place, my consciousness will recombine with myself, and I'll be enjoying the most wonderful afternoon sandwiches. And I suppose I'll find what I'm looking for in my pocket.
Okay. You know, I'm just not gonna ask any follow-up questions, and it's also occurred to me sort of the futility of trying to explain this to anybody outside of this table. Uh,
He kind
Well,
of
you
like
must.
he leans across the table a little bit towards you, Merv, and says, "Oh, Merv, no one would believe you anyway."
yeah, that's kind of what I'm sort of coming up against in my mind right now. Before you, before Brian here dies, do you know how you made this cabbage magical and tasty and shit?
Oh, I've no idea.
It just happened on accident, kind of around you.
You know, that sort of thing just happens sometimes.
You think it's magic? Give me like a direction to sort of shoot in here.
I mean, it could be. You know, these things are strange.
Is the blue cabbage gonna stop when you die, or
You know, I've never really thought of it.
Oh,
I
well,
don't
I
know.
guess it's a good thing they haven't been advertising it far and wide.
Well, I suppose come tomorrow morning, everyone will find out.
Hmm.
right?
Well, Cal, so good to see you again.
Always a
Merv,
pleasure.
wonderful to make your acquaintance. Good luck with whatever you're doing.
Right. It's a pleasure meeting you. Yeah.
He Brian Flowers gets up and turns and you know, like as he walks out, kind of like stops by and talks to a few people at some of the tables. They share a laugh and everything. He waves goodbye to Gunloda behind the bar and leaves the tavern.
Now, Cal, you
Hmm.
at least understand that a good portion of that was pretty fucked. Sort of existentially, I guess, like. f-
Well, look, when dealing with Kieran, I find it is frequently best not to try and grip the situation too tightly, because when you do, the details of the moment will just sort of pour out from between your
Oh,
clenched fist.
right.
Uh,
Shit. You've been friends with him since you were young, huh?
well, younger. For
Right.
a good long
But
time, yes.
you'd say since a formative year, maybe.
Well, yes.
Right. Okay. Well, that clarifies a lot, actually, I think.
Hmm.
It's good meeting him, I guess.
Ah, yes.
Right.
Lovely individual.
Thanks for the
Okay.
extra drinks. I am just gonna put them in flasks and put that in my backpack, so don't get disturbed when you see that.
Wait, you're going to do what with the drinks?
Yeah, I'm gonna distill them later. Well, not really distill so much as like mix them with stuff.
That's I guess they're yours, but it's a very odd thing to do with a tasty beverage.
I don't disagree.
Um,
I'll put
Merv,
the ale on the table and slide it towards you and say, "This one's mostly water anyway. You keep it."
Wonderful. Down the hatch it goes.
Merv, you see the cook Leonard step out from the kitchen, kind of wringing his hands with a cloth, looking about, and who wanted to know about cleaning the stove?
Yeah, that'd be me. You want me to come back there?
Yeah, come on, let me show
Right.
you here. There's a lot of secrets and intricacies to this.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll see you in a bit, Cal.
Do enjoy
Yeah.
yourself.
All of
Um,
his alchemist supplies and like pushes carefully pushes the smaller folk chair into the table, gets to his feet and patters off.
he takes you into the kitchen and he begins showing you like how the stove functions and how he scrubs all this. The door is actually open into the kitchen that you can go into. Um, how he scrubs everything, and he's going into like a lot of detail about like how much pride he takes in cleaning the stove. Um, uh, um, you see, like this is like a very well run kitchen.
Hmm.
He talks to you about he gets this like pretty powerful, potent kind of cleaning fluid from the general store next
Oh,
door. Um,
excellent. You know how much they sell that for?
I don't know. I kind of buy it by like the cask, you
Right,
know.
right, right.
Yeah, it can't be too expensive though.
You want me to? Can I buy a portion of it from you? Maybe you can mark that up just so that I don't want to waste a cask. Can't really carry it around anyway.
Um, yeah, why not? He
Get like a
kind of gets some in a
16-ounce
flask.
like flask out.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little flask of oil. He kind of fills up with this fluid. Um, hands it to you. He's like, give me like 2 silver, you know.
Yeah, that seems fine. You ever test the flammability of the stuff?
It's very flammable.
Yeah, I reckoned.
Yeah, yeah. Don't put that on open flame.
Yeah, well, you got a lovely operation here. Thanks for your time and your expertise.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, if you're ever looking for work, you can kind of fit in some of these nooks and crannies that I can't get to so well.
Right. I mean, are you offering like I'm always kind of in the need of money. I could do this for the night. You could pay me, I don't know, whatever you think is fine.
Hmm.
I could
Well,
clean this. I could test out some of your cleaning stuff here. Not
you
to the
staying
point
you
of getting
staying
me
here in
out, but
town, or are you moving off soon?
I think we're staying here for we are staying here for at least a night, right?
It would be. I mean, it would be the
Yeah,
caravan's not moving for at least 2 days.
yeah. Well, I mean, I can at least promise you tonight. I don't know about tomorrow. My compatriots might get up to some shenanigans and
Hmm. Hey, what's your name?
name's Merv Marskin. Merv is
Mer.
fine though.
He gives you a hand to shake. Says, "Mo, my name's Leonard. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Tell you
nice to
what,
meet
Mo,
you.
you help me out down here. You can have a room for free for the night."
Oh, that'll do. I'll be like, okay, one sec. I pop my head out and just say, "Hey, Cal, I'm gonna be doing some kitchen, kind of, fucking around. So you look after yourself."
Yes, whatever floats your boat.
Right. Have a nice night. Close the door.
Okay. All right. Merv's in the kitchen.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, you start getting to work as that kind of is going down in there. Dom, you're making friends down here with this gnome and this dwarf, and as are showing them the intricacies of dagger play. You can hear some voices behind you, and it sounds like a couple male voices every now and then, like rising in tone, and you hear a female voice saying, hey, knock it off, leave him alone. And you see behind you, like a couple of these dudes have come out of their table and are kind of like leaning into this young elf male here, and you hear the female just saying, like, just leave him alone, all right, knock it off. And one of the guys leans in and kind of, you see him flick the one of the ears of this elf and says, "Why don't you get the fuck out of here, Zane? All right, nobody wants you here, fucking knife ears." And they seem to be like giving this guy a pretty hard time.
Trying to figure out if you would interfere, but you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. Everything okay here?
You see the two guys kind of like look at each other, look back at you, and then the young woman here says, "Yeah, everything's fine. These assholes were just leaving." And they kind of smile a bit and kind of stand up a little bit more. And this guy right next to you says, "Yeah, everything's fine. Why don't you go back to your daggers, huh?"
No, I'm just saying, if we have a problem with people with pointy ears, then clearly your problem's not just with her.
Mm. Are you saying that you and I have a problem right now? Is that what you're saying?
I guess that depends on your definition of ears.
Mm. Well, what do you say if I were to clip those ears of yours?
I could say you could certainly try.
You see the two of them kind of look at each other, laugh a bit. This dude here makes a swing on you.
Of course. What is my strength?
Oh, he's not rolling deception. He is not lying about his punch to you.
Even if he was, he wasn't doing a good job.
um, uh, okay, he makes a swing on you, and as his fists like crashes in against your jaw, he rolled extremely high. You are like taken back in that split moment of like memories with your friends, being out all day, drinking, dancing at night, and then just like getting into bar scraps occasionally. And you and like Dundon kind of like fucking people up, sometimes winning, sometimes losing. And this guy rocks you for 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Tight. I'm kicking him in the chest.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
um, am I just doing a? Because I don't want to stab him. That feels wrong. So
Um,
am I just doing like a strength?
yeah,
roll?
you do an unarmed attack. So you can roll you can roll strength and then add your proficiency to it.
Oh, okay. Let's do ability check +2. 10 total.
Okay.
I love that now I'm rolling terribly. Now that it's life or death.
Yeah, hold on, these boys. Let me just Okay. You slam your fist into his gut, and he kind of wheezes from him, and you're gonna have to do a lot better than that, pretty boy. And you see the one guy begins making his way around, and then two other guys stand up from their tables as well. And anyone else in the bar can like see like a couple people are now making their way towards Dom.
I would just like to, from across the bar, just run full speed and drop kick this fellow.
Fuck yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and roll. You can roll strength check, and then we'll add your proficiency to it. So if you click on where the word strength, yeah, it'll roll for you.
Hey.
And then your proficiency is +2, 18. Yeah, you fucking drop kick this guy. When you're doing unarmed attacks, it's 1 point of damage plus your strength modifier. So you have a 10 strength, so your modifier is 0, but you do the damage to him. You fucking drop kick this guy down to the ground. And he looks up at you. Who the fuck are you?
I have pointy ears too. I heard a problem.
There is about to be an actual rumble in here as these gentlemen begin to pick a fight with you all. We are going to roll initiative for anybody who wishes to partake in this bar brawl.
I'm good.
Oh,
I got an honest night's work ahead of me. Y'all can fight or whatever the fuck.
Totally fair.
oh, man's is gone.
Oh shit, I can't remember where initiative is.
How did you
If
get a
you
point
if you
18?
right click your token, there's a little like
Oh,
cross that puts you into initiative.
the shield and cross.
The shield
Wait.
towards
Yeah.
right click.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Ooh, that's pretty.
All right, so I'm put into it, but how do I roll for it again? I clicked on it.
So if you go to on the right hand side where
Ah,
it is, there's a little fist icon at the top, and then you'll see like a little dice, roll 20 dice on the right hand side. You click that, and it'll then roll your initiative score.
okay.
Wait. Hold on. Could you repeat that again? I clicked the thing in, but then what?
Right. So you go to the fist icon at the top on the right hand side. That's combat,
Mhm.
and then you'll see there's just a dice sitting by
Okay.
your thing.
Nice.
Okay, Rainier, Dom, Cal, Laylis, and then Merv. Okay, Merv, you can, if you want to enter in at any point, you can, add yourself
Yeah,
into the
I'll
initiative.
keep an ear out.
Yeah. Cool. Let's take a quick 10-minute break, and then we'll see how your first bar brawl goes.
We'll
Like
have to bring in.
I got an honest night's work ahead of me, y'all. I'm gonna sleep in a nice bed tonight. Y'all can fight or whatever the fuck.
I don't know who the
Uh,
strong guy is, but he looks
yeah.
fancy.
This guy here, who some of the people were sitting with, kind of like looks over what's happening, and you see his like hands are on the table at the moment, and he's kind of drumming his fingers. He watches to see what goes down. Rainier.
So he's sort of sitting back against the bar to watch people in his charge. And so when a fight breaks out, he sets down his glass, puts his hand down to haul up the heavy crossbow propped up against the stool, and takes a few like very purposeful and loud steps forward and says, "Break it up or else." And he mounts it to his shoulder, and I'm gonna hold my action.
Okay. What are you holding your action to do?
I'm going to shoot the first motherfucker I don't know the name of if they make another attack.
Okay. Go ahead, make a intimidation check.
Sick.
Okay. um, you see a couple of these guys like turn in your direction, and kind of look at you with the crossbow, and a lot of them kind of scoff and sneer a bit, and turn their attention back to Dom and Layla's here. But this guy here, he has turned around in his like he's shifted him in his chair and is looking directly at you. Okay, this guy here. Um, he scrambles to his feet after being knocked on his ass by Laylis, and he goes to tackle you, Laylis. I need an opposed athletics check.
Does this also trigger my attack?
Well, he's making aggressive movement towards an ally of yours.
As far as I'm concerned, that does.
Okay.
I just don't want to I don't know how you want to pace out that roll.
You can go ahead and take your action as this is occurring.
Great.
I rolled my athletics check. Did I
Okay.
do it right?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Okay.
Okay. Across there is the distinct sound of a whistling crossbow bolt cutting through the tavern, and the thud as it actually, you know what? The thud as although you miss everyone, hits a bullseye in the dagger board. The two people by daggers exclaim, they exclaim in surprise, and they begin like ducking and just like cowering, getting the fuck out of here. A lot of the thugs all of a sudden go, "What the fuck?" Turn around, and there's a lot more focus on you. And you see Gunloda hop up and say, she looks at you, Rainier, and says, "Hey, no shooting anybody in my bar. You understand?" This guy goes to tackle you, Laylis, and he's got his arms around your midsection, kind of leaning down. But you manage to like hold yourself steady and are beginning to like kind of elbow at his back a bit. He does not take you down. Dom, it is your go. This dude here is you've just kicked him
Yeah.
or punched him.
So she doesn't want people shooting in her bar, so she probably doesn't want stabbing. I still think I'm gonna bring out the dagger and just do non-lethal damage to the best of my ability.
Okay.
Fuck this guy. That's what he got.
Oh.
Ah!
Okay. You definitely hit. How are you doing non-lethal damage with your dagger?
I was thinking of flipping it and hitting him with like the hilt,
Okay,
straight to his temple to make him pass out.
okay,
Oh.
hell
Like
yeah.
one shot, one knockout kind of deal. And then
Um,
also
That's scary. That's
for my
like a
sneak attack.
halfway killer attack.
okay. Let me
Did I
see
kill
here.
him?
What does
A shot to the temple can be a kill shot.
it could be. Hold on, I'm just looking at the
Also, people die
qualifications
of
of sneak attack.
punches a lot,
Um, you don't need
actually.
advantage, right? If the enemy of a target, none of your allies
Oh,
are here.
shoot. No, my
However,
sneak attack. Yeah, I don't get
no, this guy right here is certainly not friendly to the dude. So
that.
you
Okay.
qualify for sneak attack with being next to him.
That's his fault for
Oh.
getting closer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. You fully bash this man unconscious. He
Uh,
like it is like a sack of potatoes just
Wow.
I'm sorry. You were saying as he falls to the ground.
anything else from Dominic.
I don't have any bonus actions, and I will stay next to her in case anyone else tries to get close.
Okay, very good. Just for
Actually,
your
I
own
won't.
clarity, this here, oh, sorry, this person here is a male elf, and then this is a female elf here.
Okay, cool.
Ha.
I'll actually just I will show you. This is the dude,
Right.
and then
The tattoos are close.
this is the girl.
Oh,
Who is she? Um, okay,
seems like royalty.
that's you. Okay. Yeah. This guy hops up on the table and rushes to get in front of you, Rainier. Um, and he says to you, "Why don't you put down that little pea shooter?" Taking it and holds up his fist. He's like, "Let's do this like real men." But that is his turn to get all the way there. This guy here, he makes a run for you, Dom.
That'll do it.
Does a 16 hit you?
Yep.
Okay. For 3 bludgeoning damage. He just kind of elbows you right in the side of your head. He's like, "What'd you do to my friend?" Okay, Ember, you're up.
Ember will sort of slam down her mug on the bar. Just what I ate, and I am going to shove this dude into the ground.
Okay. Make a athletics check for me.
Oh. So
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. He goes sprawling.
Just stay down. Leave my friend alone. Just stay down.
Hell yeah. Anything else for Emperor?
No, that'll be it.
Okay, amazing. All right, Cal.
Hmm. Let me see here. I am going to walk over here.
And as people are like, like getting hit and getting knocked out,
Mhm.
like although people nearby have like taken cover, like everyone else in the bar is like standing up like, "Ooh, ah!" They're all like enjoying the show that you guys are putting on at the moment.
So these two individuals here,
Mhm.
they're watching the show, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah. Those are all commoners.
Do either of them have alcoholic beverages on the table?
They sure do.
Okay, I'm going to drink one of their alcoholic beverages.
Okay. All right. You grab it. You grab this guy's drink, and he's like cheering, and he goes to grab his drink and looks around like, what, what?
Right. And I will just announce, pointing at the brouhaha, that, oh my God, I can't believe it. It looks like some people can't hold their alcohol. Please settle down, everyone. This is childish behavior.
All right. Are you
And you know what? I think that's my turn.
okay? It sounds like you're kind of like blending in with the crowd. So roll me a you can do stealth or deception. Okay, yeah. You seem to be just one of the people enjoying the show. Well, not exactly enjoying it, so to speak. Okay, cool. Laylis, this guy is like kind of on you at the moment, but you have complete control of yourself.
Can I roll for an animal handling check?
Okay, what animal are
Him.
you? Him. You okay? He's a human. Unfortunately, an animal. You would. There would need to be an actual animal.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what is
Okay.
your? What was your intention? What are you trying to do?
I have a rope on my person, and I was
Mhm.
going to take it and hog tie him, and
Oh,
then
so you
berate him with with
Oh, that's
with
you're thinking
name
very.
calling.
rodeo.
Yeah, that's super good. I would. You could do survival, sleight of hand. Either of those would be
I will
good for me.
a sleight of hand check then.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm gonna oppose it with his athletics to see if he can like wriggle out of you kind of tying
Mhm.
him up. Oh, yeah, with a deft hand, you and then pull tight on this rope. How have you, roped this man?
Since he was like hugging my waist, wrapping one of his arms in uh wrapping it around one of his arms and then jumping onto his back and then wrapping it under his legs. So it's
Okay.
like it's pulling behind him and he's just three-legged tied.
Hell yeah. He collapses down and you're able to finish off whatever securing that you need to do on that rope. Um, hell yeah, very cool. I'm just gonna I'll put he's restrained at the moment. Excellent, very good. Okay, this guy here that's been eyeing you, Rainer, stands up from his chair and just walks over in your direction, and he gets a few feet from you and says, "You think you're tough shit, huh? You think you're tough shit? This is my fucking town, buddy." Walks up and feints a punch on you and goes for a kick in your balls.
Awesome.
But rolls a 10.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like deflect that in the moment?
I actually have military training. I am a martial combatant. I think it's reasonable to be able to like see an idiot coming at me and being able to sidestep and then redraw the crossbow in close proximity to his face.
Hell yeah. He kind of readjusts his momentum and movement and has his hands out looking like he's going to try to like make a grab either for your crossbow or for you. Okay, but it is your turn.
Don't be stupid. I'm going to hold my action to fire if he swings again.
Okay. Um, okay, this guy is restrained. I'm gonna see if he can break loose, but he has disadvantage on his ability to do so.
It did say it needs to have a 17 check or 17 strength check to be able to break out of them.
Is that on your rope?
Yes. I'm not sure where I got the rope, but
Oh yeah, and the rope can be burst with a 17 strength check. Okay, yeah. He unfortunately is restrained and he is all tied up. Dom.
Boom. Same thing I'm gonna do to you. And I'm gonna
oh,
hit him as well.
man down. Oh no.
Oh, that was so close to twice. Could you believe? Oh, and he's next to someone, so boom. Throw that in there too.
Oh. You whack him upside the head again, and you see like kind of shakes his head, blinks his eyes a few moments, looks at you and goes, "I'ma fuck you," and then falls and collapses like against the wall and slides down unconscious.
Not the phrase I was expecting to hear on the last one.
Yeah, exactly. Weird sentence to end on, my man. Anything else from you, Doc?
It's my turn.
Okay. This guy, oh, he's prone on the ground. Um, uh, yeah, he's got the big guy next to him. So, um, he's gonna get up, look down at you, Ember, and say, "You don't look so tough." And he's gonna try to crack you on the head. 20 to hit.
That would.
Okay, for 3 bludgeoning. Just like wham across your face.
Oh my.
Yeah, 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 not so tough, not so tough. Um, this guy's unconscious. I'll put the death symbol on him, but they're not dead. Okay, Ember, it's your turn.
Can I use my mug as an improvised weapon?
I will sure allow it. Do you have any of the like things that let you like do extra damage with improvised weapons?
I sure don't. However, the spell Searing Smite requires a weapon attack. So
Oh.
my alcohol will burst into flames, and I am breaking this mug on his face.
Oh my god.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Roll.
There is only a
Roll.
verbal component to this spell, so it is just Ember yelling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you speak the word of power, but you are yelling. Like it is. It is apparent you have cast magic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The mug
Yeah.
bursts into flames. in my hand.
Yeah. Okay. Roll. Roll whatever your normal like attack skill is. And you can add your proficiency to it.
So basically an unarmed attack then.
Yeah.
Because I have a button for that set up in my inventory of all places. No, it's only a 14 to hit.
14 hits.
All right. So it is 3 damage from the punch, and then the Searing Smite adds a d6 fire. I'm not sure why it's rolling 2. It should only be 1.
Just the one. Oh, because it does damage
it's initial
subsequently. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so there's 3 fire damage.
And 3 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah. Okay. The attack does, and then at the start. Okay, he is on fire. Okay, he actually is on fire as well from this. Okay, sick. Anything? There's just as this man ignites into flames in front of you. Anything from you?
No, that was it. That was bonus action for Searing Smite and my action. I will just glare at Brom Whittingham, who is standing near my friend.
Okay, I'm gonna put a fire shield on him to signify that he's on fire.
Anyone else? Anyone else want a piece of this?
All right, Cal, what are you doing?
Just hopping over the tables.
To steal drinks.
Adam, I don't know if you're muted or not talking, but we can't hear anything again.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
So I'd like to do 3 things. The first is walk across that table, and as I do so, point at these 2, and say, "Oh my god, they're so drunk they can't even stand up." The second thing I would like to do is cast Grease in a square that will get the 2 of them.
The 2 of them. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. And then the third thing I would like to do is if this individual has an alcoholic beverage, I would like to try and drink that.
Okay, technically, drinking a mug of ale is an object interaction, so
Okay.
yes.
Then,
They absolutely see you do it.
okay. Great. Fantastic.
Okay. Okay. Both these dudes need to make dex saves as the grease appears. Okay. This dude by you, Ember, who's on fire, man, like kind of slips a little bit, but manages to stay up on his feet. But Brahm here, whoop, falls prone. Anything else, Cal?
That is it.
Okay. Laylis.
I mean, he's sort of not unconscious, but he's just restrained on the ground. Just a solid kick to the face, just straight to his face.
Okay, you have advantage because he's both prone and restrained.
And then that is just the unarmed. There it is. I got a 4.
And then you get to roll again. So you can either just re-roll or you can hit the little plus symbol in the chat on the right hand side next to the attack number.
I
A
choose the
14. A 14 does it. Whack! Solid crack against the face as his head whips back. Anything else from Landis?
Uh, just moving over here to behind him where he can't turn around or do anything
Okay.
anymore.
Okay. Brahm is down. Just need to double check. Grass. I am not.
And I'm also going to perform a different reaction when he attacks me, just so you know.
Okay. Each creature standing. Yep, and then when creature areas or ends its turn. Okay. He kind of pushes himself up to his feet. Looks around. He makes eye contact with you, Cal, as it is clear you have cast magic, and he goes, "You fucking scaly piece of shit." Turns and looks at you, Rainer. Looks at his friend who's on fire. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, that's it. Boys, we're done here. Yeah? You. And he's pointing to you, Rainer. All right? Put that thing down, all right? We're done. Somebody get me some fucking water for Larry here. Does anyone take any more aggressive action?
Aggressive.
My next
no.
action was going to be to put this guy out.
Quick question.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Was it
I'm so sorry.
Ling, the first one to be knocked out, who said something racist, or the guy who's currently restrained and Larky?
It would be Ling who said something racist first.
Okay, then we're good. I'm fine.
Okay. Okay, great.
Before they I have a question as well.
Yeah.
Before they get up and like walk away from their traumatization, can I run the pockets? I would like to rummage through the pockets.
Yeah. You have time right now. There's two unconscious dudes here. There's a guy who's fully tied up, and these people over here by Rainier are like very busy trying to put this man who's on fire out. So you have time to like check this guy's pockets and see if he's got anything on it.
Okay.
Combat comes to an end as the altercation comes to an end. You said, Ember, you said you're gonna put this guy out.
Yes. Yeah. It's just an action as part of the Searing Smite spell to put him out.
Okay. All right.
Put the fire out, not like punch him out.
Right. Like Rainier wants to do, apparently.
Ember is apologizing the entire time. Just, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to set you on fire.
Oh, he is like in absolute pain, and his part of his hair is a little burnt. One of his eyebrows is fully seared off. His like face is like this guy's fucked up. This guy's really fucked up. And he also slips and falls in the grease a few times before
I will use
getting.
my second spell slot for a healing word for this man.
Oh god. You can see some of his wounds begin to like, knit itself back together, but like that eyebrow ain't coming back. This man has been burnt. Um, uh, you see, they begin to like kind of collect their boys. Laylis, you find 20 gold in the pockets of this guy.
Which?
The guy you tied up. The guy you tied
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Free money.
Hell yeah. You see Gunloda's on top of the bar shouting at people saying like, that's enough, all right, everyone had their fun, okay, all right. You see this guy here looks at each of you, gets out of the grease before kind of slipping a bit, looks at each of you, looks at you, Rainier, and says, I'll be seeing you around real soon. They go to gather
Before he
their.
leaves,
Yeah.
I would like to sort of playfully punch him in the chest a few times, right? But I mean, it's clear that it's super playful. It's really light. I'm making no attempt to do any sort of damage, and I'm just saying, oh, well, that was wonderful. I didn't expect a little brouhaha. Always nice to get the adrenaline going, and your chaps did relatively well, but you just didn't know what you were up against. So kudos on a job relatively well done without knowing you were up against a better class of combatant. But that happens to the best of us. That's what happens when you start brawls and inns from time to time. However, in my earlier discussion with Brian Flowers, he did inform me that there is a racist asshole tax in this town.
You talk a lot.
Mm.
We'll see how much you talk when you're missing that tongue.
Oh.
You staying here in town?
Oh, I've become quite fond of the Manticore's tale. I think I might stay right here.
Yeah. Me and my boys see you all again. It'll be different. It'll be a lot different.
Oh, good luck.
They kind of gather their wounded, kind of shake and splash some ale and water on the unconscious dudes, and like they're like fully like arms around their shoulders, right? Like limping out of here, wounded and defeated. Layla, I'm assuming you untie the dude.
Yes, I do
Yeah.
not give him back his money. He does not get that back.
Yeah, he gives you a nasty look because he's well aware that you robbed him. These assholes here get out of the bar, kind of like, they're just talking big as they're leaving, but like they're like, you guys kick their asses. They clear out, and everyone in the rest of the people in the bar are like, oh, a little disappointed that like everything's over. And a lot of people, you're hearing people be like, that was crazy, today's been a wild day in Oakenstall, we're really on the map now. The two people by you, Dom and Laylis, this woman and this male and female elf. The male introduces himself as Zane, and the woman introduces herself as Adelaide. And Zane goes, "Thanks. Those guys are assholes. All right, you didn't have to stand up or do anything, but I really appreciate that you did."
Assholes will never stop learning. Will never learn to not be assholes if you let them to continue to be assholes. Sorry.
The Adelaide speaks up and says, Brom and his goons have just been. They're bad for Oakenstall, all right? And no one's doing anything about them. Everyone's too scared.
Well, maybe now they'll learn.
You new in town? I haven't seen you here before.
First time.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
I take it you live here?
yeah, Zane and I live here all our lives. Welcome to Oakenstall,
Hmm.
home of blue fucking cabbage.
What is it you do here?
My dad's the mayor, and Zane says, "I gotta. My family has a sheep farm on the edge of town."
Oh,
Sounds like a very interesting situation.
Yeah. Do you guys walk in, or I mean, what do you? What brings you here?
we are passing through on a caravan. The Bronze Voyage. Maybe you've heard of it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's little halfling woman, I think. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, look, if you came in with a caravan, just keep an eye on it. You know, there's been a lot of thefts in the area recently.
Ah, Brahms men, I assume.
Could be. I wouldn't put it past him, but I mean, nobody knows. The militia's been here a few times now, but still keeps happening.
Okay.
Well, look, sorry for all the trouble. Um, we really appreciate it.
In an attempt to try to uplift the bar after everybody's disappointment of it being over, I would like to just announce that I'm going to buy a round of beers and drinks for everybody using the what is his name? The other one that got hogtied. Using
Yeah,
his
I mean,
money.
you wouldn't know his name, so.
Yeah. Using putting it like up to the bar and buying enough for 5 golds worth.
Excellent, excellent. Hell yeah! There's a rousing, roar from everyone in the bar as free drinks are free drinks, and the kind of spirits and tenor of the whole place are lifted once more. You set drinks for everyone that's still here. That's going to come out to, yeah, I bet about 5 gold will do that.
Okay, I just give her
That
5 gold.
that does include us, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful.
As you're there, and Gunloda and Leonard are getting some drinks ready for everyone. Gunloda looks around at the two of you and then kind of gives you a stern glance, Rainier, and says, you could have killed somebody tonight."
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, yes, could have killed someone if he wanted to. I mean, you see, he hit a bullseye from straight across the bar. An exceptional shot. Exceptional.
Yeah, that just means that you know better.
Yep.
You're lucky the militia left town. If they were here when this went down, and you killed a man,
Uh-huh. He's like biting his lip and smiling.
well, look, I don't mind a scrap from time to time. I've been in a few myself, but they didn't draw weapons, you did.
true.
Understood. This is, however, my personal responsibility to ensure that these people get where they are headed safely.
Hmm. Well, taking a life ain't no easy thing.
I'm sure you
Now,
know a lot about it.
They also threw the first punch.
This is true.
And
I'm not
violence it bites violence.
I'm not saying they're right, you're wrong, nothing like that. I'm just saying that there's a line.
I'm
And
not saying it's
no, I've never killed anyone. But living out here, you see death. All right. Why do you think we keep the fucking bounty board here? And she gestures to a board near the entryway on the wall here, and there's a large scrap of paper with like a gnarly looking hobgoblin drawn on it. Um, we got plenty of problems, all right. And Brahm's an issue. Does he deserve to die?
Yes.
With appropriate warning.
All right. Look, are you all? Do you need places to stay for the night?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
If you'll let us.
Well,
That's
your
a
money's
good
as
mug.
good
I'm
as
real
any.
sorry.
It's all right, you know. Look, I don't want to have to clean up that kind of mess, and there's already a lot for me to clean up already.
I mean, I'll help you clean. That's not a problem.
We'll bring it outside next time. How about that?
There we go.
Yes.
She kind of like nods a bit and kind of rolls her eyes in acquiescence, right, to the whole affair of it. And she says, "All right, well, um, we got 3 single rooms open and 2 doubles. What do y'all need?"
Who's picky?
I mean, I don't necessarily sleep in general, so I mean, as long as I can have like a little corner from somebody, that's perfect.
I'm not picky.
Well, singles are 5 silver apiece, doubles 7.
I have. Oh, I don't know.
I'll take a single. I snore.
Laylis,
Yes,
why don't you and I share space?
it works for me. I don't have 5 silver, but I can give you 4 silver pieces because I do not want to waste a gold.
I'll put a silver down or a gold down.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my 4. How do we do this? Let's go here.
She breaks the change that you need. You all can handle your own money that you need to handle. Anyone who's getting a room, right? 5 silver single, 7 silver for a double. Go ahead and remove whatever money off your sheet that you need to as you complete your transaction.
I sent you the money.
I got a single.
Oh, holy shit, you can do that.
Mhm.
I have accepted your money. Thank you.
I accepted your money.
Well, all of the single rooms accounted for. Wonderful. Slide 5 silver across the bar.
Oh yeah.
A quick question to the barista bartender.
Yes.
Is there a bounty for Brahm
For Brahm,
on the bounty
no.
board? Does he happen to show up on there at all?
No, but the moment he does, I think he'll be in a world of trouble. The Slayer's stronghold is thorough in their
There's
work.
a
Although
Slayer
it takes
stronghold?
time sometimes for them to get here. We've had that up there for about a month now.
Referencing to like the hobgoblin thing.
Yeah, she's like gesturing towards the paper.
Ah, okay, understood. Just questioning. That's all.
That's what she was pointing at when she was referring to the Slayer stronghold, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Want to make sure that's okay. Yeah.
Well, if any of you want to help clean this up, that would be greatly appreciated. Your rooms, she grabs some keys, hands it out to all of you. Your rooms are ready whenever you like. There's a bathroom at the end of the hall, and then there's privies outside around the back.
I stalk across the bar to the bullseye and wrench my crossbow bolt out of it. I can't afford to lose this much ammo.
I know what to lose the same. How's Merv been doing?
I'm vibing.
Yeah,
I didn't hear any of that because I had my head like inside of one of the ovens.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
you gotta get way back in
Yeah.
there. Yeah, there's crud
There's-
that ain't seen the light of day in ages.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. You could probably take a pretty good nap in one of these. It's pretty quiet. Can't really hear much.
You got a dark sense of humor, Merv. I like it.
What?
Nothing. um, is there anything anyone wants to do before they have a rest here?
I'm just gonna help the bartender clean.
Cool. Yeah.
Yes, I told her I would.
Yeah. There's there's broken glass, and there's definitely work to be
Blood.
done, and she's appreciated, and she'll offer you like a snack or drink or whatever if you like.
Okay.
Kalawunax will help by consuming any abandoned beverages that are left on the bar.
There
Very
are
helpful.
there's a lot of floaters out there.
Dom is going
No
right to
waste.
his room because he took a beating.
Oh, good.
Um,
Dom, you're injured. Melvin, get out here. We need some of your creams or salves or poultices, please.
Do we know what those are made of?
Only
Dom's
the
hurt.
finest quality items and knickknacks.
Okay.
They're made with love, Dom.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I mean, not literally. Don't be disgusting.
I was hoping there'd be more science behind it.
No.
Okay.
My experience with his healing was very harmful. It hurt very much.
Well, it's better than nothing, I suppose.
Did you say my name? You didn't say my name, but you're referring to me out there.
Yes, please.
Yes. Please.
What for?
There are injuries. We need your expertise.
What? Why? Who got hurt doing what?
Me.
Okay,
Dom got in the way of
if-
someone's
okay.
fist.
I was
So-
fighting racism. It's
What
way
kind
different.
of wound you got? Like a bruise or a cut?
Blunt force trauma, some cuts.
Okay, you got contusion.
There are some.
Right. Okay, come in here. I'll get that fixed.
Oh, can't collide with a wall.
This time instead of a paste, he pulls out a like bottle of this like murky pink liquid and goes, "Yeah, you're gonna want to drink this."
Oh, I smell it.
I mean, it don't smell like much of anything. And
takes the liquid,
well, if you
swirls it.
yeah, you're gonna want to cold your nose and make it go down smooth.
Dumb,
Also, I find it helps to like think about what part you wanna not be as hurt anymore.
Dom, like when he bits his nose, lifts it to his lips, takes a deep breath out of his face, just his entire face, and drinks. Bye.
Yes.
I mean,
It's okay,
okay, you know you gotta like actually
That's almost full.
you
No, we're
can't
good.
you can't gag it like that. It won't work if you like kind of hiccup like that and it gets on your shirt.
It didn't taste great.
You didn't hold your nose good enough.
I think that was a part of the mess.
Right.
Not the main prop, but a part of it.
Okay, now why'd you get hurt?
Racism,
Oh,
or rather, racists.
I mean, that's not as specific as I think you think it is, but
Someone
You hear Leonard speak up behind you as he's been watching this, and he's fucking hate racists.
I mean, yeah, racists suck.
It's a worthy cause.
Yeah.
We should have been there.
Yeah, good on you. Hey, Murr, you done a great job tonight. Your room's on the house.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying the work to be honest. It's
You
kind of
done.
meditative.
Yeah, you done enough. So go on, get out of here. Get.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
He's got a double room, right?
It's a single. It's for cleaning, for doing kitchen work a little bit. Yeah, he gets a single room.
Um, just want to check in with probably I keep missing her name, but the bartender.
Uh,
Um,
Gunloader.
Gunloader. That's right. Every time I hear it, I think it's a sentence. Uh, um, just check in with her if there is like an armorer in town, if there is a smithy.
Oh, no smithy by rights. The farrier can work you up some horseshoes or nails or something if you like. But for real smithing, you're gonna have to head up to Maras, a few days, north.
No problem. It's where we're headed. Just making sure that the quiver stays full. That's all.
Oh, all right. I mean, you could check with the general store, but I mean, I'm not. They might have some arrows, maybe bolts. I don't know. Some people folk do hunting out here.
Will do. Thank you.
Hey, Miss Amber, you need some fixing, or
I'll be fine.
you got a pretty nasty bruise there?
Yeah, it's nothing.
Okay. I mean, it's no problem if you do. Just give me a holler.
Is
I
there a
appreciate it.
reason you apologized after setting that man on fire?
Wait, you did what?
Set a man on fire.
Oh, you set a guy on fire. Was it a racist?
They was.
That's probably fine then.
I mean, it's just a bar fight. I probably shouldn't set people on fire in a bar fight. Just lose my temper sometimes. He's okay. I mean, the eyebrow will grow back eventually.
He looks fine.
I found it charming.
You did wonderful.
I am trying
Boom,
to
put that
be
guy right on his ass. Exceptional.
I mean, did he hit you first, or?
Technically, no. I pushed him to the ground, then he got up and he punched me, so I broke a mug over his face.
But at what point did you burn him?
With the mug.
When I
With the
broke
mug? How'd you do that? I mean,
I mean,
I guess, yeah, I'm looking at your hair right now, and
mhm.
yeah.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
I mean, if he was a racist, like, fuck it, I guess. Well, y'all doing anything, or I think I'm gonna go to my room and
Yeah.
fuck with this cabbage.
Which way to the
Yeah.
room?
Tell me what you learn. Actually,
It's
before
magic as
we
fuck, I know that.
head separate ways, Merv.
Right.
You planning on looking at it alchemically or arcanely?
Well, alchemically, I guess.
All right. Let me help you out.
Okay. Yeah, he'll like set all of his tools out on the counter.
You see,
Okay.
Gunloader looks at you and
When
goes,
I
"Not
said
here, not
yeah,
not here."
yeah, when I said help you out, it did
Oh,
not mean in this exact moment. It was a
okay.
footnote
What?
for
Right.
when we
Right.
have time
Okay.
later.
Well, in my defense, you got me excited.
Don't say it like that. Um,
Like what?
I have to go give my kids some medicine, so I'm gonna head out.
Okay, all right, very
Good
good.
night.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
um, well, one quick thing before the end of our game. Um, you all head off to your respective rooms
Hmm.
for evening. You can take a bath. The water is um, lukewarm at best, but the beds are fairly nice. The straw in the bedding is pretty full. It's comfortable. It's warm. That's what counts after sleeping out on the road and being wet at night a lot. Merv, you're checking into this cabbage situation.
Yeah.
I'll give you stuff on that next
Hmm.
session. um, Ember, as you're getting all your stuff settled out for the evening, there's a moment where you're kind of like sitting on the edge of the bed, just like hearing the sound of people still like milling about, and the muted sounds of a couple voices every now and then raising and laughing, and shifting and that sort of thing of the wood. um, and your mind kind of drifts back towards the sound of kind of shifting, drifting wood as we are in a it's at night, and there's the kind of soft warmth that the forge kind of always fills this space with. And the creaking of the wood is as you are leaning close to the door leading to like the offices inside the forge, where you're learning how to work metal. And the door is slightly ajar, and you can hear muffled voices. And as you get closer to listen, you can begin to overhear the conversation that is occurring in there. And you hear two different voices. What do you mean you're sending the girl? She hasn't even earned her hammer and tongue yet. It's exactly what I said, Draken. She's ready. She hasn't been an apprentice for more than a few years, and you think she's ready to repair a watermill all on her own? Yeah, and she's not gonna be alone. She'll have everything I taught her. Don't you forget whose building this is, whose forge you're working. I'm telling you, Draken, she's the best metal worker I've worked with in a generation. Maybe ever. Maybe even better than your father. You're fucking mad, Weimar. Tell you what. Go on. Send your little Ember. But it'll be your ass on the line. She fucks this up. You're done in this town. You understand? Deal. There's heavy footfalls as the sound comes closer and closer to the door. Um, does Ember do anything in that moment?
I will attempt to make sure that I am hidden from whoever comes out.
Okay.
Even if that just means sort of ducking behind the door.
Yeah, the door kind of like comes out heavy, swings hard, and for a moment you're afraid that it's gonna like slam into you, but it stops just short as you kind of like wince, waiting for the impact. There's like a few more heavy steps and a gruff, fucking Weimar, um, and the footfalls disappear, exiting out of the building entirely. And you can hear some shifting in the other room. What do you do?
We'll do the thing where you sort of knock on an open door. Master Weimar, is everything okay? Who's that?
You see he looks up at you. How much of that did you hear?
The part where I'm being sent to Bastion, the part where that guy doesn't think I should go.
Well, it's outside of Bastion, and don't worry about Draken. All right? His family may own the forge, all right? But you can't listen to what people like him say you can and can't do. You know, the only reason he owns this forge or has any status in this town is because of his family and his father. He doesn't hear the anvil sing like you do.
What are you sending me to Bastion for? I mean, I still have things to do here. Is it
Like about 15, 20 years ago when I was apprentice. Dragon's father and I, we installed a water mill at the Pennell family farm. It's just outside Bastion before the bridge going out to Finlanora. And because we installed it, they're asking for me to go out there. And they're having some kind of problem, something broke on it. And they don't trust anyone else there, so they want the people that originally installed it. And since I'm the only one still breathing, but I can't go. All right, I have too many orders here, and I can't just leave for a few weeks. All right, we'll be too far behind, and so I'm sending you.
I I could do the orders if you wanted to go.
Oh,
If that'll make if that'll get Draken off your back.
he gestures for you to like come into the room and sit next to him.
She does.
Look, Ember, what are you afraid of?
Well, I mean, nothing. But if they're asking for you, then
Well, they're asking for me because I was there, but what they're really asking for is someone who knows what they're doing. All right? And Ember, you have a gift, a real gift. All right, I can study this craft my whole life, and I have. And I'll never be as good as you can be. I know when you're working the metal, I know you can hear it. I see it on your face. It's the same face that my teacher had. And he told me about it, but I guess I just couldn't connect in that way. But the things that you're gonna be able to do, Ember, you're ready for this. And it's time to prove it. Not to me, and not to Draken, to yourself. Now, I've already spoken to your parents about this, and they agree. There's a caravan leaving for Bastion in 2 days. I want you to pack your stuff. I want you on it. All right? You're going to be gone for a few weeks. And then when it's done, you come back.
her face will sort of light up. 2 weeks out of town. I've never left Mirrors before. This is. And it's just a windmill. That's
It's just a windmill. It's going to look big, but break it down like I taught you. Take the big problem, separate it out, work through the small ones first. Before you know it, the whole thing is done, and then you're on your way home.
but I don't have to like come back immediately, right? Like I could go into Bastion and sightsee for a little bit, right? Like I mean, this is my first time out of town.
Like, if
But
you do the work fast enough, sure. But make sure you do the work.
yeah, of course, of course. The work always comes first. Work always comes first. Who is this family anyway with this windmill?
Pennell
What's the
family?
big deal? Yeah.
Oh, I don't think they're anyone special. There's a lot of farmland out that way. And, these sort of constructions, some of them, they want a skilled artisan, someone who really knows what they're doing. So they'll send us. I mean, it was a big deal for me to go out there. I mean, I worked harder than anyone to get this apprenticeship, you know? a lot of people didn't think a human could do it. All right, people, they might not think you can, but you and I know different. And fuck them anyway, right? Doesn't matter what they think.
Yeah, I'm not worried at all. This seems like a seems like a real easy thing. I'm surprised there's not somebody in Bastion who can do it for them. But I mean, I guess all the like we always say, all the real artisans are here. They just have the guilds.
That's right. And there's some folk out there that loyalty means something. Come on, give me a hand with this.
Mhm.
And there's a montage of moments that we see. You waving goodbye to your family, hopping on the caravan, heading out, the travel you make with that caravan through different rain and storm and whatnot. You arrive at the farm, you begin inspecting the mill, and at first people are a little hesitant, but you're representing Weimar in his forge, and you begin working to repair it. And we see that the Pennell family begins to really take a liking to you. And, you have dinner with them and work on the mill during the day. And uh, at the end of everything, the work is finished. Um, I'd like for you, do you, in the chat menu, right now your role mode is set to public. I'd like you to change it to blind GM role. Do you know where that is?
Yep.
Okay. This will be so only I see the role.
Oh boy.
And I'd like you to make a Smith's check, right, with your Smith's tools.
Oh boy.
And you can use your wisdom on this.
Okay. My Smith, they're probably in my inventory. How do use Smith's tools? It's keyed to dexterity for some reason. I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh, I can probably edit it.
Yeah.
Switch it to. Nope. No, I can't. There we go. Default wisdom. And close and Smith tools. Hit the button. Let me know if that rolled.
It did roll. Okay.
Okay. Oh man, do I not like this?
You finish the work, and the family wishes you well. They pack you a little bit of food for the road, and they hand you a letter, which is the result of your work. And inside this letter, sealed with wax with their family symbol, um, is the result of that role. And you're to deliver that to Wymore. We see you have a little bit of time to spend in Bastion. You know, you see some of the sights, walk around the city, do some touristy stuff. There's cathedrals and there's all kinds of food and taverns, and it is a bright, shining, walled metropolis with a river that cuts through the two sides of Bastion. On one side, the city proper, and the other side, standing across the river, the Arcanium itself. And then you hop a caravan with a silly name with a boat on it, and you head north back home to Maras. And as we see you in the tavern room in Oakenstall, you reach into your pocket and you have that letter in your hand, and it weighs heavier than any steel you've ever carried. And that's the end of our session.
Hell yeah.
And then just I could open it and mend the seal. No, 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 Amber, don't do that. Don't do that.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.